guys? SconzE here with Roblox. We're going to be playing Anime Paint by Numbers. I played it a little bit earlier, not too much. I only completed one painting so far, and then I started another one. I've only done the first part of it. But we are going to continue that now. It's probably going to be just a chill stream. We're just going to go around painting these things. And the one I'm doing right now is actually Godjiel from Fairy Tail. See if I can zoom out here. You can obviously tell it's him. But then, ooh, what does this guy got going on over there? And I won't really be able to see. Because even if I go into the overhead angle, it just shows you what your thing is. But, yeah, I was going to be playing this, and I figured, you know what, might as well stream it. Maybe just chill, relax, stream. I'll show you actually, here, if I click this, I'll show you the one that I have done so far. I did Videl from Dragon Ball, that was the first one in the bunch. And then, so basically, you get like $1 for every little number you hit, and so it's money for each of these. And then I'm doing, actually I wonder, does it show you your progress? No, it just stays blanked out. But Godjiel's my favorite anime character. Well, not my favorite anime character, but my favorite character from Fairy Tail. So I figured I'd do that one next. Now I don't know if there's gonna be much yapping in this one, or if it's just gonna be just chilling, painting. We'll just see as we go along, because it's not like it's not really an engaging game. It's just you just run around, paint the numbers with the colors, and then make your picture. So yeah, it's much more of a chill game. You know, it's not like we're playing Call of Duty, full action all the time, which hopefully we'll be playing soon. Hopefully we'll be playing Black Ops soon. That's supposed to be coming out. Hopefully any day now. I don't know. It's they said it's coming out this month. There's still no word on a release date yet, so we'll see. We'll see. But I've been very much waiting for that. Luckily tomorrow, the NTE update drops, so that'll help alleviate my boredom. Because I've just been lately. I've been so bored with games. I mean, not entirely. Like, I enjoyed some of the stuff I was playing. Like, right now on the channel, the two games that are out, Sly Cooper 2, Band of Thieves, or just Sly 2. I don't know why they dropped the Cooper in the title. I guess they thought it may be too long. Sly 2, Band of Thieves, that is beaten. It's not beaten yet on the, you know, in terms of the channel post, but all the recording for that is done. Same with Warhammer 40k. Recording's all done for those two series. But Warhammer 40k I enjoyed. That was enjoyable. That was fun. Sly 2, not a fan. Did not like that game really at all. I think overall I'd give it, I don't know, maybe a 6 out of 10. I give it a 6 out of 10 personal feelings. Actual rating, 7 out of 10. Didn't like it. Sly 1 for me is Sly 1, I'd give personal rating a 10 out of 10. Actual rating, I'd give it 9 out of 10. Also, where's this last 2? Why am I not seeing it? Oh, I see it. There it is. But Warhammer 40k, that was nice. I think maybe that game, overall rating, I'd say my personal rating and overall, or like an actual rating for it would probably be the same. I think I'd go 8 out of 10. Both ways, just because, like, it's good, it's solid. There isn't anything I don't, there's nothing I dislike, but there could be more with that game. That's my thing with that game, is like, it's not that there's anything bad with it, but there's definitely more that could have been done. So yeah, but overall solid overall, and that's just going with, like, I always go round numbers. If I were to go into decimals, I'd probably give it like an 8.5, not just an 8. But it's just so much easier to go solid numbers. But yeah, that NTE update's coming out tomorrow. So excited for that. Have something to do. Cause yeah, I've been bored playing other stuff on the side. I've been waiting for, especially like I've been waiting for Call of Duty Black Ops because 1 and 2 is coming out on the PS5, and definitely gonna be doing a lot of grinding on that. We'll probably be streaming that game a decent bit, doing zombies, multiplayers. I would like to play the campaign on the channel. I don't know. I think we're probably gonna try to do veteran difficulty. Because we did Modern Warfare in veteran difficulty, OG Modern Warfare. The remastered version, or like the ported version, I don't know, whatever the current gen console version is, not the current Modern Warfare's, the original Modern Warfare, but just played obviously on PS5. We weren't playing on like the PS3. But that supposedly the Black Ops and the original Modern Warfare, like the two hardest veteran difficulty campaigns after like the OG Call of Duties, but that's just because like those OG ones are that like you can't get health back or something at all. Like you have to get health back by like picking up packs, and so that makes it like way extremely challenging. But then after those OGs, the next hardest is like yeah, the original Modern Warfare and Black Ops. So I was kind of hoping not to see that when I was looking up which ones are the hardest ones, because I'm like, kind of would want it to be a little bit easier, not on the same difficulty as MW. Because playing the original Modern Warfare on veteran difficulty on the channel, like I'm glad I got it done. I'm glad I did it. However, thinking back to it, because when I was thinking about, oh, I'm gonna play Black Ops, should I do it on veteran? It didn't occur to me at the time, but I now remembered, like I got PTSD flashbacks. I was like, oh, like all the like hours spent on like a single mission, just doing it over and over again, do this dumb, stupid mission where you're like at that Ferris wheel, the one shot, one kill when you're defending, waiting for the helicopter to arrive. Oh my gosh, it was unbearable. There were so many like spots, like there were some missions I was able to get through, like not easy, but able to get through like around the first like try or two. And then some of the missions are just so long, and I was losing my mind. I'm like, oh, do I really want to do that again? And we'll probably do it, because you know what? I think that's a nice accomplishment to have on the channel. You know, there are some people who are just like absolutely cracked out in Call of Duty and probably could do it without breaking a sweat. But the average player definitely have a bit more trouble completing that stuff on veteran difficulty. But yeah, I've been waiting on Black Ops. Black Ops 1 and 2 is coming out, but I'm just going to get Black Ops 1. I love Black Ops 2 as well. However, it's like they're going to be $40 each, which I think is great, by the way. Okay, because all these, you know, you got new games coming out, $70 and whatnot. I love the original Black Ops. Very will happily pay $40 for that, where like all new games are like $70 and don't even like most of them. So I think $40 is a steal. And you could say, oh, but it's an older game, it should be cheaper and stuff. It's like, I don't really care. I'm gonna pay for what I enjoy. It's like, even if it's older, if it gets the job done, the job being giving a player joy and happiness, yeah, I'll happily pay the price. But the thing is, so you'd be paying $80 for both of them. And the thing is, I feel like I would rather get Black Ops 2 at a later point in time, because it's like, oh, what am I? I'm gonna buy Black Ops 1 and 2 at the same time, and then do what? Just hop back and forth between the multiplayer. The only thing you could realistically hop between the two is zombies, because zombies, that's really just like picking different maps. That's really all it is all right, I'm gonna play on these maps, Black Ops 1. All right, I feel like playing some of these Black Ops 2 maps. Because zombies is zombies. But then, like, multiplayer, you're not gonna hop back and forth between both those games at the same time for multiplayer. Because all the progression and stuff, it's like you gotta level up to get the different guns, the camos, all that stuff. You're not gonna be doing that at the same time. That'd just be a pain in the ass. So I think I'll be playing Black Ops 1, get my fill on that, and then maybe like half a year later get Black Ops 2 or something. Maybe probably like during holidays, probably be like a holiday sale or something. And then you could get it for like cheaper. Maybe if there's ever like a half off sale, I'd get it for like $20. I don't know if I'd do like if they did it for like 30. I don't even know if I'd buy it for 30. Not because I wouldn't want to, but just with Black Ops 1 because it's like it's just, like at the end of the day, Call of Duty's Call of Duty, you know. So it's really just like pick your preference. I guess spend extra money just for a reskin, you know. It's different when it's like all right, years pass, new Call of Duty's out. To a degree. Back in the day, it was better. Nowadays, it's like, all right, nobody's touching this fucking garbage and the Call of Duty has become. But back years ago, the new CODs were always like fun. You know, there's little new weapons, different stuff, and so it's just like, all right, new update, paying for the new update essentially. But it was fun and enjoyable. Now it's not worth it. But yeah, with Black Ops 1 and 2, it's like unless I could see me playing Black Ops 1 for a long while, so I don't have the need to get another one until some time later. Also, after I do this number 5, I gotta check. This has been a bad habit lately. I've been starting streams without checking them to make sure they're like up and running. So we gotta do that. Also, where's the last number 5? Where is it? After I find this 5, I'm gonna check to make sure the stream do be streaming. Because normally I always check that at the start, but yeah, lately I've been just kind of jumping into it. That's not a good idea, because for all I know right now, there is no stream active. Is that the last one? Nope, there's 2 more. Okay. Where are the other 2? Can I see it from here? Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, there's 1 right over here. Bada bing, bada boom. And then the other one. Actually, kind of tricky. I didn't think I would have this problem. Alright, well, we're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. We're gonna have to just do like a up and down run. Kind of lame. Actually, you know what? Let me check stream right now while I'm running up and down. Let's see. Is the stream? Yep, the stream is streaming. Amazing. Because it does happen. You might think, that wouldn't happen. But it's like, you know what? When you streamed, even just a few times, you realize that sometimes you click stream, it says on my end that I'm streaming, and then I go on the old YT to see, and there's no stream active. And it's like, oh, that's weird. Alright, we got all the 5s done. Dude, we got so much monies now. 7K. All the money's used is to buy more pictures. Depending on how long this takes, I don't know. It would definitely... I'd like to do another one after this one. It does take a little bit, though. So maybe we'll either do, after this one, 1 or 2 more? Depending... I mean, we'll see. We'll just see how it goes. Because I like to always stream for at least an hour. Sometimes we stream like up to 2 hours. The longest stream I think I'd done was like 4 hours on Overwatch. Which when I saw that, because it's funny, I was looking back through like old streams. I was like, I really played 4 hours of Overwatch straight on stream. I was like, okay. I was very surprised because I really don't like to do that. Because like this channel is mainly focused on videos, not streaming. But I do like to stream too. I think streaming is fun. It's just I'm the kind of guy that I like to bop around from game to game. Like I usually don't like to stay on a game for too long. Usually, like I like to play like I can stream for an hour, no problem. Because I like to play for an hour of something, and then I'll hop off, play another game, and then I'll even like I'll hop on and off a game multiple times in a day. It's just I just don't like to play consecutive, really. Like I'll play a game for maybe like half hour, hour, play something else for the same amount of time, then go back on to that other game, do some more, and just back and forth. Like to mix it up. Or sometimes I'll get off, maybe watch a show, then get back on, you know, stuff like that. So that's why I usually, like, I'm not, like, streaming all the time, too, and do more video-focused channel. Because I also do, like, I mean, I like doing episodic series. On the weekend, we just do the random. We do the free play on the weekend. Playing multiplayer games or one-offs. But then the week, the series are fun. I think Sly, I don't know what episode Sly's at now, but a little heads up, a little spoiler, I guess, if you will. I think it's 31 episodes. Actually, maybe it's not. Maybe it ends in like the late 20s, but it could be. No, maybe it is 31 episodes, I think. The game was longer than I thought. I think it took me a total of around like 12, 13 hours to beat the game. It was way long. Like, Sly Cooper 1, you could beat that whole game, like, just, I don't know, like, probably if you, like, zoom through, you could probably beat the whole game in, like, 3 hours or less. Because I remember, because there's the 5 areas in the game. There's the 5 areas, and I actually did do a one-off of Sly 1, because we didn't play it on the channel, just because I've played it over and over on my own so many times. I didn't really want to play it again. Like, maybe in the future, but I had played it, like, too recently to where I was like, alright, I'm not going to record it all on the channel. It's too fresh in my mind still, because I've been playing that game my whole life. But, I did do a one-off to see how fast I could get through, like, the start of the game and beat the first boss. Because the way Sly 1 works is you go around a hub world and do a bunch of levels to get keys to unlock the boss battle at the end of the world. And then rinse and repeat, move on. And then I think there's 5 areas. The first one's Raleigh, whatever his name is. Not like Silver's Rayleigh. I think it's Raleigh. I think they call him Raleigh. He's a frog. Then you fight Mugshot in the second area. He's a bulldog with pistols. And then third, I believe the third one is Miss Ruby. Yeah, third one's Miss Ruby. And she is an alligator who lives in the swamp, and she does voodoo magic. That's her thing. Fourth area, I forget his name, but he's a panda, and he's in China, and he's like a master of kung fu, but he's a master of like fireworks and like pyrotechnician and stuff. So like he like attacks you with fireworks as well, I think, or something. That's like his deal. Is he like those like rockets and stuff? And then so that's like the 4 areas. Then there's a 5th area because the main bad guys, they're called the Fiendish Five, and so there's a 5th area. 5th area is the main villain, Clockwork. However, oops, I do not want to buy Run. No, thank you. No, thank you. But Clockwork, he doesn't actually like have an area. If I remember, it's just kind of like it's like a 3-sequence boss battle, kind of. Like there's no hub world. You go around, get the keys. The way it works is like I think you start off in like the gang's van, and you just go around like shooting at like things that are like incoming enemies and stuff, and then you make it to like the base. It's kind of like in a rail shooter way. You're not like driving the car, it's just like a rail shooter. And then once you're in the base, then I do think like you go around the base, like, but it plays out like a level. It's not like an open area. It just plays out like a level. Oh, 7 got done faster. 789. But yeah, so you do that. You get through that like level part, and then it's like the boss battle, and it's like all in like not one sequence. It's like 3 sequences, but like all like just one after the other. It's not really like you like stop. Okay, I'm gonna stop here, or maybe I'm gonna do this level now. Do this level. Get this key. Oh, I'll come back to that one. Blah blah blah. Like no, it's just bada bing, bada boom, bada boom. Now you're done with the game. So that's that. But you know, based on oh yeah, so the whole point I was making was that the first area I did a one-off video. Sly one seeing how quick I could get done the first world area, whatever you want to call it. I guess it wouldn't be a world because it's all on the same planet. You know what I mean. And I think I got it done in like 40 minutes. And the first part obviously is going to be like, I think like the quickest. So it's like, I get that done in 40. So it's like, if you can get each part, like, you know, done under an hour, like 40 minutes. I think the second area with Bulldog, I mean, or Mugshot, whatever. Could I get that one? I think I could get that one done in an hour too, but I think that one would be more closer to like 50 minutes maybe. And then the thing with Miss Ruby, that one take like an hour. So like, I don't know, overall, I think you could get the game done in like a couple hours. And if you like, you really rushed it, yeah, you could like, probably could do like a stream beating the whole game like in one sitting if I felt like doing it. So maybe I would do that. Or maybe I would just stream like the part, because I did the one-off of like the first area. Maybe I would just respectively like, or stream, yeah, the other areas respectively in their own things. As a way, like, instead of like recording the video, just like stream it. Possibly. We'll see. Maybe we'll do something with Sly 1, maybe not. I don't know. Not gonna make any guarantees. But yeah. Anyway, so the point being, Sly 1, you wrap it up. 3 to 5 hours. 3 to 5 hours you could beat it in. Sly 2, that's one thing I gotta give it, is the amount of content in the game. But to be fair, the game just drags on. It's not that it's like, oh my gosh, like there's so many hours of like great content, whoop-de-doo, like wow, so much longer than the first game, I get to do all this fun stuff. It's like, no, the reason it's so long is because every mission, because that's how that game works. It's not, you don't play levels, you do missions. You like go around an open world and like actively do stuff within this open world rather than just like going to doorways to levels. I don't know why they changed it up, but they did. I don't like it. But so, yeah, the game, every one of these missions just drags on. It's like, all right, go here to do this thing, and now repeat that 4 times. It's always 4 times, like 4 times. That was like the main thing, is always each thing you have to do like 4 times over. All right, you gotta run all the way across the map and then go to this tower and put this thing on it. And now you gotta do it 3 more times, because you got to go all the way across the map and now jump on this tower and do this thing. And then you got to run all the way over here and then jump on the next one and then the next one. And it's like, oh, it doesn't seem too bad. And it's like, well, when you have to do like 100 of these damn missions and each one is just like, okay, repeating the same action multiple times over and over again, it just drags on and on and on. And it's like, and then another thing I hated with the game was the logic. So many times there was like things that could have been done easier in the game, but it just wasn't. Like there were times where it's like Sly should have been sent on one of these missions and they're sending Bentley, and I'm like, Sly could have got this done way easier. And then it's like, oh, well, you could say like, oh, well, Sly's busy doing something else while this is happening. It's like, no, the way the fucking game works is you switch between the characters in the little like base area. So when you're playing as one character, the other characters are just sitting in the thing. Sometimes the story like has it where it's like the other characters are like trapped or like there is something going on with them, but half the time, but the thing is, it's like it always shows you that in the mission, or like you know it, otherwise they're just sitting in the base like waiting for you to switch to them. And so like there's a bunch of times where I was like, this makes no sense. Why am I playing as this character? And then there's other times where where Bentley, Murray, and Sly work together on a mission, and that's amazing. And then they just don't, like 80% of the time. And it's like so many missions would be done if they just worked together. Like how many times was like Bentley hacking something, and then like it would have been useful if like Murray and Sly were there to just cover for him while he's doing that, or like other things like that. It's like, why don't we do that? They're not doing anything because there was one mission where Bentley needed to hack and do stuff, and Sly and Murray were covering for him. And it's like, why aren't we just doing this every time? And it's like, oh, we're make it more challenging. But it's just logic. Logic. I don't fucking give a fuck about, like the game. You can make a game still fun and still like use logic. Because like half the time there were so many things that it just didn't make sense. All right, what is this? Number 10. Where's this last one? There's three. There's three left. What color is it? It's dark. So maybe it's like blend in with some of these other ones. Also, I'll try to check chat. I never have chat up on my thing. If anyone's seen previous streams or anything, then they'll know that I don't keep chat up on my screen because it's like it glitches. So I'll try to just check it here and there. There's nothing going on right now, but I'll try to check it here and there. Oh, there's a 10. But when it's on my screen, I guess something with like the PlayStation or whatever, like it's normal at first, and then into the stream, it'll just start repeating messages that have already come up, like it'll repeat spam messages that I've already like seen as if they're like new messages, and it just goes over and over and just all hits at once. It's just like a total glitch. I don't know. Oh, nope, do not want to buy that. Because I was thinking about maybe having it up for this, but no, I'll just keep checking it manually. Because normally, most games, I also don't have chat up because it's just sometimes depending on the game, like if I'm playing, sometimes we stream Overwatch, like I need to focus like on the match because I'm always playing like ranked and stuff. So I don't really want to get like distracted by like messages popping up and stuff, and then it's like I don't want to, like if someone says something to me, I want to be able to like actually respond. And so sometimes it's hard to do that while in the middle of like something in a game because I'm like focusing on something else. So I like to take like a dedicated time on the side to respond to stuff. And this is all stuff I've said before, like previous streams. So if you watch previous videos, because like all the streams get archived, so if you happen to watch some of the previous streams, then, well, sorry for repeating myself, but, you know, new people come in and out, so you gotta give them the lowdown. But yeah, I would have done it for this one, but it was the ding-dang glitch. The ding-dang glitch. So. Alright, how many for the 300 of these? Yeah, this painting is a big... Dude, the first one I did was like a very short one. This is only the second one I've done, but it's got a lot of stuff. Because the one I did before, the one for Videl, it wasn't like this. Like, this is taking up the entire board. The one for Videl was like her character. I'd show it, but I don't know if it's gonna like reset the progress of this one, so I don't want to mess with it till after it's done. And then maybe I could pull it up again to show. But it was just like her character, just like in like the center, like a full like character, like full body. What would you call it? Not a portrait, like the full silhouette. But it's obviously it's more than a silhouette. It's like colored in. But like if you get what I'm trying to say. But this one, yeah, just takes up the entire thing. So it is a lot more. I saw in the center. I don't know when this game came out. Dude, there are people who like completed so damn many of these. It'd definitely be easier with like the run, but I'm not paying Robux for that. You kidding me? You kidding me? The only thing I ever paid Robux for was Locos Online for like some of the characters. But that's because I play that game all the time, and it's like I'm getting characters that I like from the show. Otherwise, like these other games, it's like oh, like spend Robux to get like a money boost in the thing, and it's like for a game that I'm gonna play for like a week. This game, I feel like I could see sticking around though for me, like something I hop onto here and there over the course of time. There's only two of these left. Number 11. Where, oh, where? But yeah, dude, those tycoon games. It's like, bro, every tycoon game, you play those for like a week, maybe two, maybe. Usually not. Usually it's just a week. But you play those, and then you move on to another one. So it's like, oh yeah, let me spend like $5 for some money boost thing, or like, oh, I can make a trail behind my character. Wow, cool. And people I don't know, like people really buy that shit. I find it so stupid. And I would say like, oh, no offense to the Roblox creators, but like it is stupid. And they know. They completely know it's a complete rip off and a scam. It's not like, oh yeah, like, what is it like? Oh, like it's just something cool for the players, and it helps me out as well. It's like, no, it's stupid. It's a complete rip off, and no one should be wasting their money on it. You want to see something like this is actually way better in this game. Let me show you something. Where the fuck? Where's the? Oh, there it is. The TP. Okay, look at this. This is a million times more respectable. Is Wait, where's... Oh, it's actually not here. Never mind. It's just in the store. So, okay, so the one color completion. This is a complete joke. This is stupid. Like, oh, color completion. The whole point of the game is that you color the stuff in. If you're just paying to complete the color, you're basically paying to just have the game beat itself. Like, why would you even play this? The whole point is you go around filling in the things. If you're just paying to do it, it makes no sense. This is actually complete. So whoever made this game, honestly, I mean, low key, fuck you, because this is stupid. This is just trying to like scam like kids or whatever who like don't know any better and just have their parents' credit card attached. But what I was gonna say is this right here. This is the only thing that should be around. Is like you have the tip, the big tip, and the giant. I mean, that's just stupid. I mean, well, actually, what is it? Actually, what is the conversion rate? Is 100 Robux a dollar? Isn't it? Wait, isn't it a dollar? So what the fuck would this be? What is the conversion rate? So would this be... No, that would not be 900. Wait a second. Oh my gosh, my damn... Do you see this thing like sliding around here? I fucking hate this damn controller. The analog stick's like freaking out, but... I have my good one, but I use this bad one mostly for games where it like doesn't really matter. I'm looking up what the conversion rate is right now. I am looking up the conversion rate. Robux to USD. I need to see this. Wait. 800 Robux for... Wait. How much? Wait. How much is... We'll say 10,000 Robux. 10k Robux. 10,000 Robux is $99 to per... You fucking asswipe of a person. Oh my... Really? Really for this game? $100? You expected people to just freely give you $100? First of all, you have all this shit. I think this is fine. I think, like, you have the dollar and the $10. I think that's fine, the tip and tip, because what my original point I was going to make is I think that's respectable to have in a game where it's like, instead of these stupid bullshit purchases, is a tip thing where it's like, hey, if you want to support me, here's a little thing, you could tip $1. It should be $1, $5, $10. There you go. There you go. I'm fucking, dude, $100 for like, okay, buddy, like, all right. It's not like you made these fucking. It's like, oh, I made these characters and things. It's like you fucking took these pictures offline. These are anime characters from fucking. You don't own any of these properties. The anime. Look at this fucking shit. You go through all the thing. Let's see the category list. You don't own any of these animes. These aren't yours. You didn't make up any of these. It's not like you did it. All you did is I'm not an expert on making Roblox games, but I'm pretty sure it was a simple, probably just import the image, and then there's some program that just converts it into like the colors, the pixels, and then you set up the thing, whatever. Probably the most work you had to fucking do was set up the store page. And then you have the audacity to have a fucking $100 tip thing. Like, oh my fuck. But if it was $1, $5, or $10, that's what I think is like respectable in a game, because then it's not like a bunch of bullshit. It's just like, hey, like it's the player's choice. If you'd like to support me, here you go. Here's here's an option to give me a little bit of cash that like helps out and stuff. And I think that's fine, because then players could be like, hey, you know what? I like this creator. Here's the thing. I don't want to fucking like pay money to fucking complete the color. Ooh, I gotta pay money to have the game play itself. That's like paying money. That's like if I was playing, let's just say Call of Duty, and I paid money. Like I bought the game, whatever, and then I pay extra amount of money for my character to just run around and shoot people by himself. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's essentially what that is in this game. Because there's only one thing you do in this game, and that's what we're doing right now, running around filling in the colors. That's all there is to it. So if you're buying to fill colors, why, like, you need to go to the doctor and get your head checked out, because there's seriously something wrong with you. Why would you even be on this? So stupid. So stupid. But that's a lot of these Roblox creators, all this fucking bullshit. Now fucking Fortnite is on that same crack, because they made it so you could buy you could use V-Bucks to buy stuff like how it is in Roblox, like, oh, player boost, like, oh, like 2 times speed, blah blah blah, this and that. The difference is, at least like Roblox games are like built better for the most part. The Fortnite ones, there are some good ones that I do enjoy in Fortnite, but majority of it in Fortnite is pretty garbage. There is good one, especially now with the whole V-Bucks thing. There were games that I actually have revisited. There were ones that I played in the past where there was stuff that you could do and get because it was just included in the game, and now it's like V-Bucks to get like some of the extra like boosts and stuff that you would just get by earning it in the game originally. And it's like that's what it comes to now. It's like, cool, I'm gonna spend V-Bucks. At least like Robux for the most part is like cheaper than the V-Bucks. Like the V-Bucks is way worse, like spending on like a lot of games on Roblox you can get stuff where it's like, all right, I can get a bunch of stuff for like a couple bucks, where in Fortnite it's like, you got to spend a good amount of money to get some of this extra BS in these custom games that are not even good. But this is a little stupid. Run 2 times speed. No, I don't want to fucking buy. Ugh. No! Oh my gosh, it's because I'm tapping the analog stick. Because if you press L3, it's just automatically. See, they knew players would have the urge to try to sprint by pressing L3 and then come up. That's all. Like, you may think it sounds crazy here, but it's fucking calculated. It is. That's done on purpose. You press L3 because you have the urge to like sprint or whatever, and play it, because most games that's how you run on controller, and then it's calculated. It's put there like that because they want you to go, oh, I clicked L3. Oh, I clicked L3, and then whoops, accidentally pressed buy. You have the Roblox sitting on your account, and then you accidentally press buy, like, or something, even though, like, Roblox does have it, like, where it takes a second. Can I fucking exit out of this? Oh my gosh. God damn, Roblox. But that's done on purpose. Because why? Why wouldn't that just be, why do you need to have the L3 there to, like, buy it and stuff? Why isn't it just there for me to click on when I want to, and then you can make it set? No, it's done on purpose with the hopes that someone accidentally sprints and then buys the thing. That's what really all these store purchases are. Is just hopes of accidental clicks, and then also like just kids. It's really Roblox. These games really do prey on kids that have parents' credit cards attached. Because the thing is, kids don't have a real concept of money. They don't understand. They don't think like they don't think it's like a big deal or whatever. They think, oh, okay. And they're not realizing like, oh, I'm just playing a stupid game on Roblox that really doesn't matter. Then I'm just gonna move on. They're just thinking in the moment, oh, cool. I'm having fun right now. Oh, I could get this thing that I like. Okay, click. Like they're not thinking about it. You know, they're not thinking. So and that's what they do. These creators, they prey on kids and their parents' credit cards. It's what they do, and it's very scummy. It's completely scummy. Yep. The one thing that, like I said, like the one thing I bought was in the locals online. Fucking like the characters I liked, but you know what? I spent $5, and I got 5 characters, and I still have 81 Robux left over, and I got 5 characters that I liked. Spend $5 because they were like 80 cents each. It's like, wow, I get a whole ass character in this game I like, characters that I like from a show. I get them for fucking like 80 cents each. Some of them were actually even 60 cents. I think it was like 80 cents, 80 cents, another was 60, whatever. And it's like why can't more people do that shit? And that game has a million times more work put in than this fucking bull crap. And then people, like, it just pisses me off, you know? Like, see this shit. It's like, because it's scummy. That's what it is. All right, I'm gonna move on to a different topic. I'm not gonna keep going on about this, but it's just there are, you know, creators out there who put respectable prices to things. It's a very small percentage of, you know, creators though. Very, very small percentage. Anyway, let's move on to another thing I could rant about. Sony killing physical media. Oh, Sony's killing physical media. No, Sony didn't kill physical media. All right, everyone's fucking crying on the internet. Sony just put the nail in the coffin. That's what they did. You know, no chance. You know, unless they pull it out, Frankenstein it. They just put the nail in the coffin. So they didn't kill itself. Everyone's like, oh, but Sony said they're not gonna make games physically anymore, so now we have no more games, and all the other companies gonna follow suit. Wah, 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 wah. Fuck Sony, right? And it's like, all right, you want to know why Sony's doing this? It's not because Sony wants to kill physical media. It's because 90% of players for years now have been buying everything digitally. It's you, the players, who are bitching and moaning about, oh, no physical, the Sony's killing it. It's you guys that killed it. It's not Sony's fault. If you guys have been buying physical, then Sony would have never done it. If there was a market, no company is going to just get rid of something that there's a big market for. You know what the market is for physical media? It's fucking zilch. It's nothing, because nobody wants it. And then you guys all crying, okay, you want to save physical media? Okay, go ahead. From now on, from this day forward, buy every game you buy it physically. Buy every single game physically, okay? Otherwise, stop moaning and bitching. Because I know that like 90% of the people crying online have all been buying digitally for years now. When's the last time you went to a store and bought a game physically? It's like, there are people who do it. There are collectors. There are people who like to collect video games. But that makes up a very, very slim margin of players. I haven't bought, ever since I got my PS5, I haven't bought a game. And I bought the disc version of the PS5 too, because I just wanted the option to have it. But even still, I have not bought a game physically. So I don't care. I'm not going to cry about it. Do I want them? If I had to pick between getting rid of physical or not, I wouldn't. I would choose to keep it. I would very much like Sony to keep making physical games. Would love to have that. It's not like I'm against physical, but I'm also not going to cry about something that I know I haven't gotten in years. It's probably been forever. The last time I bought games physically was like early on the PS4. Like the first couple of years of PS4, I was still buying. I remember I had Alien Isolation on disc, Lego Marvel Superheroes, what else? Star Wars Battlefront, the first one, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, first one of that, Battlefield 4 I had on disc. What else? Rayman Legends, which they're making the remake, which you bet your ass we are playing on the channel when that comes out. I'm so excited. I think it's October 1st that drops. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be fun as freaking heck. Speaking of fall games, Danganronpa 2x2, which I was very looking forward to playing on the channel, is being delayed. We played all the first one. You can watch that on SconzE. That was our longest series ever recorded. I think it was like 72 episodes. Oh my gosh, that went on long. And I wouldn't say it was a drag, but I already knew everything was going to happen. I've played Danganronpa before, but I played the whole first game, you know, on the channel in anticipation for Danganronpa 2x2, because I felt like it would be, you know, appropriate to have the first one done on the channel, even though, like, I've played it myself already. But anyway, 2x2 got delayed to, like, early 2027, so damn, that sucks, but yeah, whatever. It is what it is. What was I saying, though? Oh, yeah, but, like, early PS4 games, like, those are the first couple of years of PS4, have not bought since. So I'm not going to cry about it, because I know I haven't bought anything physically in years, okay? So, like, and that's the thing, is, like, if you are a collector, you have every right to complain about it online and be angry. You have every single right. I mean, not that, you know, everyone has a right to complain about anything, you know, in reality. But, however, you're stupid if you haven't bought a game, a physical game, in years, and you want to cry about this shit. You're just a moron then, because it's like, buddy, you're part of the problem, not Sony, alright? But literally, it's an easy save. They said they're going to stop by 2028. Okay, so we're mostly through 2026, but okay, it gives us about like, you know, about like a year and a half-ish around there to get this to change. Okay, literally, easy fix. Every one of you crying online, here's what you do. There's lots of games coming out. Lots of games coming out by before 2028 hits. Lots of games that people want to play. So here's what you do. From this day forward, you buy everything physically. If all you players, if every single one of you people crying out there starts buying physically, guess what? They're going to keep the games physical. You know why? Because there's going to be a market. And they're going to realize, okay, this isn't a waste of time. They literally said majority of players buy digital, so we're just not going to keep up the disc. It's like, here's for example. Like, you have, like, you know, gasoline cars, electric cars. There's still a market for gasoline cars. That's why electric cars haven't completely taken over yet. But let's just say that 90% of people, because that's really what it is, the physical to digital in the video game world, it's really 90% of players are buying digital, let's face it. Especially PC. Oh, PC Master Race, right? PC Master Race, PC Master Race. Well, that's all digital. Nobody's buying physical PC. So I don't want to fucking hear, especially from PC players, but it's like, oh, PC Master Race, and that's all fucking, you know, digital. And PC takes up a big portion of the gamer community, okay, as well. So, yeah, you could thank them for this, too. Anyways, but say it was like 90% of people all started buying electric cars. You know what they would do? They would discontinue gasoline cars. Because why are we going to make gasoline cars for 10% of players? What is it? Why? Oh, no. Why is the game's not loading? What's happening? What's happening? I can't click the thing. That's weird. Internet, what the fuck? Reconnect. Is the stream still streaming? Oh my goodness. Did we just leave? Let's just leave. What's happening? Hold on, let me check to make sure the stream's still going. Anyway, my point is that this would be wild. If the stream stopped, that'd be so sad. No, the stream's still going. So what the fuck? Is it just Roblox? Hello? Let me see if I hear myself. Hello? Yeah, no, I do. Okay, strange. Anyway, my point was, if 90% of people, whatever, like, start buying electric cars, they stop doing gasoline. Because there'd literally be no market for it. Wouldn't make any sense. Is the music on? No, music's gotta be off. Get that shit off. All the fucking Roblox, like, free music is, like, fucking C-rated and stuff. But so you get my point. Companies are gonna get rid of stuff if there's no market for it. So that's what's going on with physical. It's not Sony. It's not Sony that killed physical media. It's the consumers because nobody's buying physical. All right. So everyone wants to cry and complain when really you should be all mad at yourselves for buying digital because you're the culprit. You're the culprit. It's like, bro, so dumb. Whatever. Whatever. But that's my fucking Sony rant thing. And like I said, it's an easy fix. Everyone just start buying physical. For the next year and a half, buy all your games physical. And then Sony will keep it. They literally will. They literally will because there will be a market for it. But so dumb. So dumb. Yeah. Yeah, dude, the fucking game disconnecting like that. Which is weird because we didn't lose connection. The stream's still streaming. It's not like we're still on Roblox. That was strange. But that threw me off my train of thought. Well, I guess I basically finished what I was saying anyway. But yeah, Sony really is just getting screwed over lately online. Oh, and then people are trying to say, dude, people are making up such bullshit. And then everyone jumps on, you guys, dude, like, I'm not saying it's, whoever's watching this right now, you know, I'm not calling out you specifically, saying it's like, you, the viewer. Like, I'm just talking in general right now. But so many people out there need, and if this is you, then I guess I am speaking to you. I mean, I guess if it was you, you wouldn't, it's not like you'd be aware anyway. But so many people need to actually think for themselves and do their own research because, oh my gosh, I hate comment sections on social media. It's the most fucking dumb fucking pea-brain shit I've ever seen in my life. I mean that's just social media. Everyone knows this already. But the amount of times I see someone post something, just saying anything, and then everyone just immediately just jumps on it and agrees because they didn't actually take time to research for themselves. It's like, okay, here's the example. I'll just go straight to the example instead of just trying to, like, explain it poorly. People have been making videos because now Sony with the physical media thing, people have been saying, oh, Sony deleted my physical games on my PlayStation library as a way to like, you know, prepare for, you know, changing to all digital. Now my physical games don't show up in my library. What the hell? Blah, 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 blah. And then everyone in the comment section is like, oh, that's so stupid. This is ridiculous. Dude, Sony's really screwing us, blah, blah, blah. This shit is not even true. There was a recent update on my PlayStation. I got it. I downloaded it. And guess what? I checked for myself. All my games that I have on disc still show up in my library. They're all still there. They're there. And guess what? I click on them. Can't play them because I have to insert the disc. Not like I can just play it. But they're there. They're present. They're not just not appearing in my library unless I put the disc in. It's like, no. Sony didn't do that shit. But so many of the fucking dumbasses out there want to watch a TikTok video over something that's like a heated topic at the moment, and then because they don't want to actually take a second to look anything up or see for themselves, they just want to jump on the bandwagon of hate. Just for the fuck's sake of it. It's so stupid. It's like, please take 2 seconds to look things up for yourself, and you realize, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't just be fucking jumping on the hate bandwagon because this shit is actually not true. And so many people out there just fucking, people just make up shit too. People just take stuff out of context or make up stuff just for the sake of like getting fucking views and clicks. And they're taking advantage of all you fucking sheeple out there who aren't going to take the time to look up anything yourself. So stupid. Because fucking take me as the proof. On my library, they're all still there. All my physical games. Some of them, I don't even have some of them because I fucking sold them. Literally, like, my fucking, I think Battlefield 4, I actually, because a lot of the games I didn't play anymore. I wish I did still have Battlefield 4 because I like that one. But like I sold that, I think to GameStop. The first Star Wars Battlefront, because Star Wars Battlefront 2 is just like way better. The first one was fun at the time, but then like looking back, comparing the two, kind of ass, I think, actually. But like these games that I actually don't even have anymore, I sold them, They still appear. It's not like I popped in the disc to just get them to appear back on my library. Nope, they're still there, and I haven't fucking put them in my. They've never even touched my PS5. Actually, I've never even put a disc once in my PS5, and they're all still there, part of the library. So enough with this fucking bullshit about they deleted them, because that's just not true. None of that's true. Ridiculous. This is supposed to be the chill paint stream. Turned into the fucking the angry rant stream. Because so many people are just can't think for themselves. It's fucking ridiculous, and then and point the finger at the wrong person, like the Sony thing. They didn't kill physical. The gamers did, fucking buying all digitally. Sony just put the nail in the coffin. That's all they did. Because why not? Why not? That make it. It's like none of you people work or are in charge of like a $multi-million. What is it? Maybe it's even billion. It's got to be $1 billion company probably. I mean, fucking GTA 6 budget itself is $2 billion. But it's like you people aren't in charge. Like they have entire fucking research divisions. Like they have fucking $1 million research divisions that are in charge of this shit, checking out markets and seeing what's good and not. Like, they know what they're doing. And it's like, yeah, sometimes, I'm not saying companies are perfect. It's like, oh, you're just bootlicking, white knight for the big fucking company and shit, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, they do stupid shit all the fucking time. Like, don't get me wrong, all companies do. However, at the same time, it's like, if these companies were as bad and stupid as you guys said they were, they wouldn't still be in business. It's like they very much know what they're doing. Like, there are times where they do stupid stuff, yeah. However, it's like, research shows getting rid of physical is just a better money-making move. There's no money. There's no profit in it. There's no profit. That's what companies... You think these fucking companies are fucking charity? No, they're in it for profit. They're in it for making money. I mean, to be fair, that's why fucking video games have fallen off in general, because that's why indie games are like the real breadwinners right now, because they're made up by small teams of people who actually love video games. Most of these big ones. That's why the new Call of Duties and games like that suck, because they went from like teams of people who actually cared about games to big fucking just corporate entities that are just like, oh, put this bullshit in the game. A lot of this fucking woke shit. It's like, do this, yeah, and then, they're just thinking of a larger margin, or, larger consumer base, and it's like, they're not thinking about the gamers themselves. Little do they fucking know that it's just gamers who play games. It's not like movies where everyone goes to the movies. It's like, no, not everyone plays video games. Still, though, fucking GTA... did make like $10 billion, I think it was, and that's why their budget for the new game is $2 billion, so... Well, I guess it depends on the one. But... what was I saying? Oh yeah, but it's like, no, it's like, this is a good reason why video games, like big ones, like Call of Duty and stuff, like AAA titles have fallen off. Because it's just like, they don't give a shit about the actual games and stuff anymore. It's like, they're just in it for money. Gaming nowadays is much more about money than it is about the games themselves. And that is why I love old video games mostly. There are still new video games that come out that are good. Like, don't get me wrong. But usually it's indie games. I mean, I'm trying to think the last time I liked a big game. I mean, to be fair, dude, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, that is not a fucking indie game by any means. And I love it. Still play it every single day. Or at least, like, yeah, no, pretty much every single day I play that game. Hop on, do matches. And that game, and the people who say, oh, that's a terrible example. That game fucking sucks. Dude, that game gets so much hate. And this is another thing. Like, dude, so many people are just so in the wrong about so many things. You know why Dragon Ball Sparking Zero gets so much hate? Is because people are trash at it. People are trash at online. And that game is pretty much just online. There is the single player, but they're adding more single player stuff, especially with the DLC. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say. Originally, earlier in this stream, I said, oh, I was bored and stuff because I've been waiting for Black Ops to come out. and the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero Neo DLC. Like I've been waiting for these things. Like they're coming out summer, and I'm just like, oh, I've just been thinking about them so much. It's like I don't want to play anything else. I just want to play those things. That's why I've been bored as well because those have been on my mind. But anyway, there's been more single player stuff has been added over the course of time. Still not much, but with the Neo DLC, then there really will be a more filling sense of it. But really, the main thing. But when that game was coming out, it was made with the focus of online. Okay, so it's not like they never advertised it as it's like the original ones. Here's all this single player content, all this cool stuff to do. It was always advertised as an online focused fighting game. So stop acting like, oh, the developers really screwed us with this one. You knew what you were getting into. Maybe pay attention. Didn't they teach any of you in school to read the question before answering? Maybe look at the product before you buy it? Like, come on. But so people are just trash at online, and so they want to fucking bitch and complain about the game because they're bad at it, and it's like they just want single player stuff to play. It's like, I understand that. I understand that if you're not really good at online, you don't really want to play online, that you'd want there to be more single player stuff. That's totally fair to want that. However, it's not fair to criticize it for that when it was never advertised as that. It's like, do you see anyone? I mean, take Mortal Kombat for example. You have the story mode. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero had a story mode too, and it was very enjoyable. It doesn't have any replayability. It's like once you beat it, but you get to play as different characters. You play as Goku, Vegeta. Like they each have their own story modes. Goku, Vegeta, and I think Gohan's the longest. And there's like a Frieza one, a Piccolo one. I think there's a Trunks one. I actually think is there a Jiren Goku Black one as well? Maybe. Either way, it's like, there's obviously the main characters are like way longer, and you play as them throughout their history, and then there's branching paths. You could do like what ifs, like, oh, what if Goku won this fight where he was supposed to lose, and then it goes into a whole new version of like the story and stuff. And it's not really that in depth, but it's just a little something. It's fun. So there's story mode, but I always like to compare it to Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, you have the story mode. You beat the story mode. What else is there to do? Fight online. Sure, there's like some offline stuff. Same thing with Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, you could fight the CPU. There's a couple little offline things here or there. But nobody does it. It's not really much. It's mainly fighting online. And guess what? Does anyone complain about games like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter not having enough single-player action? No! Because they're online fighting games. Same thing with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. It's an online fighting game. Stop bitching about single player not being there just because you're bad at online and have nothing else to do. Like, it was never advertised. So many people point the finger, like, at the wrong people all the time. And it's so annoying. It pisses me off. Because it's like, if you just take a moment to use your head, you'd realize, like, okay, actually, like, I can't really blame them for this because it's not really their fault or blah, 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 this or that. Like, just speaking in general term, but... So you get what I'm saying. So that's the whole Dragon Ball Sparking Zero thing. It's just another rant. But yeah, that's... Why did I say that? Oh yeah, but I got on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero because they said like, oh, that's a new game. That's not an indie game that I like. What else? NTE, not an indie game. I've been loving NTE. My current favorite game right now is that one. Love it so much. It's been slow though because I beat the story, beat the stuff, and so I just gotta wait for the update again. The last story update I got through super quick. I got through it like day of. It was because I love the game so much. I just blow through it. But I really love that game. I have so much fun. The game came out. I think I have 135 hours in the game, and it came out 2 months ago, maybe 2.5 months ago, about. I have 135 hours in it. I hit that 100 hours really quick in it, but then once you beat all this stuff, then there's not really much to do. And then people even here's another thing, people want to complain about stuff with that game. Oh, there's nothing to do. It's a live service game where every month they add new story, and then the new characters, and that's it. It's like, bro, And the game is free. People are acting like they paid $80 for this game, and then, or what are the games that $70 of GTA is going to be the $80 game that, like, changes the market. But people are acting like, oh, this is a AAA game they paid $70 for. It's like, oh, there's nothing to do. I gotta wait for this update. Oh, this sucks. Blah blah blah. It's like the game's free. The game's free. Just wait for the update and then you get more stuff. It's like stuff will come out. Or if you really care so much, just drop the game for a while. Just don't play for a while and then pick it up a couple months later and then there'll be a lot more content because you'll be able to play through all that story. It's not like the story goes away. Like there are live events that, come and go, but the story itself, if you're just looking for more content, you can just wait till it piles up a bit more. But it's like, bro, the game is free. You didn't pay $70 for there to be nothing to do. It's like, oh my gosh. And then there's so much, dude, I'm a free-to-play player in that game. The only thing I bought is like the two, like, they have like kind of like a battle pass thing, like each month, and it's like $10. And it basically just like, as you play, it just helps you earn a bunch of extra resources for stuff. And I love the game so much, so I didn't mind. I paid $10 first month, paid another $10 the second month to get all the resources, which helped like me to get like some stuff a little bit quicker and stuff. It's literally just resources. It's just like for like character growth, stuff like that, just help you level up sooner. But the thing is, besides that, because it's really not much. Not saying that's not worth it. It's like totally worth it. I'm saying in terms of price, it's really not like that much. Like I'm pretty much free to play, and I've earned so much stuff. Like I never paid for any of the dice or anything like that. You do get dice in those $10 packs, but that's like play to earn whatever battle pass. It's Fortnite, fucking you can earn some V-Bucks. It's same deal. But like yeah, essentially free to play player here, and I've got all the characters I wanted. I have every single character that's in the base game, plus I got the first three. What is it? Where are these colors? I got the first three banner characters. I got Hattori, Nanali, and what is her name? Lacrimosa. I didn't get Chaos last one just because I didn't want her. He's a cool character, but I didn't go for him because I wasn't interested. But yeah, you can earn stuff free and stuff. But it's like, bro, so many people complain, and it's like the game is free. Stop acting like you paid all, like you just lost a bunch of money on the game. Like it's fucking free. What other indie game? This whole stream is gonna make me seem like, oh, he's just a fucking bootlicker for like big game companies and shit. It's just like, no, I know. Like for example, fucking Call of Duty shit now. Okay, so like, there you go. I'm not a bootlicker for big fucking companies. There, I'll fucking call out Call of Duty. Call of Duty's fucking dog shit, bro. That new one and stuff. So garbage. Go back. I've been waiting for. I'm glad they're releasing Black Ops 1 because you know why? That's a fucking Call of Duty made by a good Call of Duty company. Now that's fucking how it is now and stuff. That's why I'm so hyped for it too. But like, yeah, I'm just. The thing is like, there are big companies that do good, and there are big companies that do bad, and I just get it just really pisses me off. It's just with anything. Whether it's companies or not, I get pissed off when I see like, oh, just because it's a big company and they make a decision that like players don't agree with, but they also don't understand things, so they just get mad at the company, and it's just, bro, if people just use their brains, then SconzE wouldn't have so much to rant about. But yeah, like I'm not gonna get back into this of like the physical and stuff. I already went through that whole explanation. It's I explained it clear as day, and if you still can't understand it, why it's not somebody's fault, then I don't know what to tell you. Go to the doctors, please. Get checked out. What other? I'm trying to think of like what other big games are good, but yeah, it's just mostly indie games. I'm trying to think. What's stuff I've been playing? Overwatch I play a lot, but that's Overwatch is not an indie game, and Overwatch I could go back or forth with. Right now I'm just picking out games that like just are stuff I play right now because you know recency, easier to think of to talk about on this topic. But Overwatch, I could go back or forth with. Like I think they're like, for example, Overwatch, the game itself. I love the game. I think the gameplay is great. However, I think the developers are complete dumbasses with the way they've set up ranked and stuff. Because the rank system is a complete joke in that game. I've said this a bunch of times before on the channel. I'll say it again. You could be the very best player in the world, but oh my gosh, the analytics thing really has gotten bad. Look at me. We're just going. I'm not even touching the damn thing. Fuck's sake. Oh my gosh. That's how bro, that's how I fix it, is by like clicking down, spamming it. But unfortunately, in this game, that's like you buy the sprint. Anyway, but yeah, you could be the best player in the world on Overwatch, but if your team is complete garbage, you will lose and D-rank over and over and over again. I think the one thing to perfect that game will change the ranking system based off of individual play and have wins and losses be a bonus. You should be ready. Here's how it should be. Let's say you're playing 6v6. Let's say you're playing 6v6. The top 6 players should have rank increase. And I'm not talking about win-loss. I'm talking about top players with the top, like the people like who have the most heals, the most damage, kills, the most mitigated, most time. This is a huge one. Time on objective. That should be a huge one because so many damn people on ranked think it's team deathmatch and don't play the objective, and then people get screwed in their ranking because some dumbass teammate who's not actually playing the game properly, and it's just not fair. But so you should have the top 6 players, obviously with the one have done the most, contributed the most in the game, as the most points and stuff, and then you go top 6, all move up. Their rank goes upwards. And then with, you know, obviously most to least. And then the bottom 6 players have their rank go down, which obviously, if you're the top of the bottom 6, it's not going down too much, but it's still going down. But now here's the thing. The win and loss is a bonus. It's a bonus. Not the deciding factor. Not the deciding factor of whether it goes up or down. Just a bonus. So that way, if you are the worst in the lobby, but your team won, your rank is still going down. You get a cushion. You get a win bonus as a little cushion, which helps it out. But overall, your rank's still going down. Because if you are the very worst in the entire lobby on both teams, but your dumbass got carried, no way in hell should you be ranking up. So what? So what? You can get into a higher rank and just screw other people that aren't going to be able to carry your ass? Like, no way. That's ridiculous. That is because there's so many people in higher ranks than they should be because of just getting carried over the course of a couple games and lucking out. And it's just like, it's stupid. And then also, so that way, if you are the very number 1 player in the lobby, your rank, and say your team lost, your rank still goes up. Now, it takes a hit. It takes a little bit of a hit because of the loss, but overall, you're still going up. Not as much as you could have been if you won, but it's still up and up. So it just goes to show, it's like, hey, I busted my ass. My team fucking sucked. But you know what? It paid off for me. Like, my rank's still going up and stuff. That's how it should be. That is the most fair way. And it's still funny. It's not like, oh, it just, like, screws the whole, like, you know, competitive system. No! It makes it still good. And also fair. It's such an easy way to do it. Like, oh my gosh. I think the real reason they don't do it like that is just because the way that they would have to make like a whole calculation system for it, and I think they just don't want to do that because from what I've heard from the developers, the way like the thing gets like calculated, like going up and down, is actually like a bit complicated. So I think that's the real reason they don't just like make it like that. Um, but it's like, oh my gosh, how many games where like whether it's me or someone else have done the best? Dude, there are games where I'm on DPS and it's like I'll be like fucking 40-5, and the rest of my team doesn't even have 20 kills, and then we lose because no one's able to fucking hit a shot, and like we just get steamrolled because like no one's able to fucking not able to stop the objective because they can't get kills themselves and they just go through. And then it's like, and now my rank goes down even though I played best in the entire lobby because the other team will have like they'll each have 30 kills where I'm sitting here at like 40-5. And then, what is it? But the rest of my team is at like fucking 15 each or something. And it's like, what the fuck? How is that fair to me? My rank goes down because my team sucked, but I played great? The hell? Or like, dude, healers, where it's like, bro, me and another healer, or just healers in general, like, the healers will completely diff the other team. They'll have like 20k healing each, and the other team's healers barely even are hitting 10k each. But the rest of the fucking team sucks. Like, even though our healers are healing like crazy, the fucking rest of the team, like the tanks like don't know how to push objective, or they just dive. They just solo dive, get run over, and so the enemy tanks are able to just push objective because our tanks are non-existent because they keep deleting themselves. Like, bro, and then it's like, so is that fair to the healers? Even though the healers diffed by like 10k differences, their rank goes down because the rest of their team sucked. It's like, oh my goodness. Like, what are we doing with the ranking system? It's garbage. That's why I just play for fun. I have totally given up on rank because it's like, it's just so bad. It's so bad, the system for that. So I've just given up on it. Don't care anymore. I just play to have a good game and fun. That's all I do. Play for the loot crates, play for cosmetics. But yeah, I don't even, dude, like, I used to, like, this is how like, I've really just, like, fucking, not given up on the game itself, like, I still play for fun. But, dude, like, the Ash skins that have come out that I like, and I didn't buy them. If you watch my previous videos, on like Overwatch on the channel, I would buy every single Ash skin, like every single one, because I really enjoyed Overwatch, put a lot of time into it, and I love the game so much, and I'm a huge Ash fan. It's my main. I'm like level 300. So I'm getting near 350, I think, with Ash if I haven't hit already. Maybe I'm in the 330s, or maybe I'm around 350. I don't know. But yeah, I love Ash. And I love the game so much, but now I'm just so over the bullshit. Like, I've made it to Masters a few times, but then I just get screwed because of the ranking system. I'm like, I'm just over it. But actually, what? That's not even fair to say why I don't. Well, it's a combination, I guess, a little bit of that, why I don't buy skins anymore. But it's also more so because of, which in a way, I like it. Actually, it's better. I just wish it was sooner. So they've made it where like a lot of the purchasable skins are just in the crates now, which I like because it's like, okay, I can earn these skins that were like to be bought instead of buying them. Like, I earn them. Obviously, you got to get very lucky, because there's a lot of skins. What are the odds you get the one you want? But actually, I have gotten some ones I wanted. But the thing is, though, is like I have no desire to buy some of the skins now because it's like, here's the thing. If it's a year different, I think they should be a year out. The skins should be a year out before they go in the crates. But they added skins that literally have come out within under half a year, like within just months, and it's just like, so I just bought those fucking skins, like, within the last few months, a couple of them, and now they're just able to be earned in crates? I'm like, okay, that's a little, like, fuck you to the players who are giving you money. That's a little fuck you. So now I'm not gonna buy because now that I know it's like because for example there was like they just did this like cat cafe like skin thing and Ash was like one of them and I actually liked it. I actually liked how it looked. It was cool and a good emote and stuff. Um, but I'm like okay, but now this is just gonna be in like a crate in like a few months. So why the fuck am I gonna buy that? Like obviously chances are low that I earn it. But if it's just gonna be there, like I don't want to buy it now. Like, why the fuck would I want to buy it? Like, I've lost desire to to buy these skins. Um. So yes, I think that's stupid. I really don't think they should have done that, or like at least, like I said, make it a year out, make it a year change. Because now I'm not gonna buy the skins if like the exclusivity is just basically gone down to nothing. So yeah, pretty dumb. Pretty dumb. They haven't pulled the Fortnite though yet, where they put battle pass skins in crates. If they ever do that, I don't know. I don't know if I'd care or not. Actually, I actually do want them to do that because there's one Ash skin that I can't get because it was in one of the battle passes that I didn't play. I have all Ash battle pass skins except for the one. It's the Galactic Hunter one. I think that's called or like Galactic Bounty Hunter or whatever. It's got like the alien squid tentacle thing on the hat and she's got like short orange hair with it and stuff. But the reason I don't have that one is because, and I do think I had that battle pass too. But it was like over that battle pass came out over the summer of, I believe it was 2023, I think, or I don't know, whichever it was, I don't know, whatever it was. And I was not on my console at all. Cause like I was going out and about. SconzE was very productive that summer. He was out and about partying and whatnot. Um, and so yeah, I just barely was on my PlayStation that summer for like for like 2 3 months, and so I just didn't put the time in. I didn't get it. I wish I did though, because at first I remember like at first I was like ah like I'm gonna go for it whatever. But at the time I didn't really like care for the skin that much. But now looking back, I'm like I actually do like it. I'm like damn, I was like I actually do really like that skin at the time. For some reason I just like didn't care about it as much, and so I was already busy. I was like yeah, I'm not gonna spend the extra time to get it done. Okay, where's this last 25 here? We gotta find this thing. I'm just gonna run around randomly while I go to pull up the old chatty, see if there's anything. Maybe there's people yelling at me saying fuck these game companies, how could you defend them? I'm not defending the game company itself, or like the Sony and all this stuff. I'm defending just what makes. That's what I'm defending. The truth. That's what I'm defending. I'm a defender of the truth and what makes sense. That's what I'm defending. Anyways, what they say? Oh yeah, Fortnite. Fortnite made it where, and this is see Fortnite. I give a big old middle finger. Fuck you to Fortnite. For most, I will say I do. I have been playing this season. I have been enjoying it. Okay, okay. I have been enjoying the Sprite season. All right, I have been having fun. Um, because so I got like the crew because I wanted the battle pass the first week. Normally I get it at like the end of a battle pass, like just to collect all the rewards at like once. But the thing is, you get the Gilded Hunter, Golden Hunter, Dylan if you get the battle pass in the first week. So I was like, oh shit, I want that. And so I got the crew at the start. So because of that, I'm trying to get everything that I want done in the battle pass within the month that I have this crew membership, which I only have 4 days left. But I'm actually kind of close to getting all this stuff into the bonus. I think I actually can finish it. So I've been grinding a lot. I've been playing it a lot. And in playing a lot, I've actually found that I really enjoy this season. Anyway, besides enjoying the actual gameplay, fuck you to the Fortnite company because you're bringing back, and now we know this was going to happen, but now that it finally happened, it fucking sucks. They brought back Battle Pass skins. The Marvel Battle Pass skins, the second Marvel Pass, the Mysterio, Gwenpool, War Machine, all of them. And now some people try to say, it's like, oh, well, you know, and then some people are trying to defend it by saying, oh, well, they said it was going to happen, so and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I'm not complaining about, it's not like, oh, it came out of nowhere. I knew it was going to happen. I don't think it was ever a good decision, though, from the start. So it's not like I'm just like, it's like I'm blindsided. Whoa, how could they do this? This isn't fair. No, it is completely fair for them to do it. I completely acknowledge they have every single right to do this. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. But it's like we knew it was coming. They said it from the start. Starting this season, things will be returnable. We all knew. I just wish that they did it for other things too, because now it's just because now people are saying it's like I really don't have desire to get Battle Pass anymore because it's like if you're just gonna bring back the stuff anyway, why should I buy a Battle Pass? And then people say, well, if you get the Battle Pass, you get these skins for cheap because it's like all right now instead of paying 1,500 or 1,600 whatever they want to make them, instead of doing that individually for each skin, it's like all right, War Machine, then Gwenpool, Mysterio. We haven't seen what is it? I think Shuri was in that pass too, and Emma Frost. Yeah, well I know Emma Frost was. Shuri's in it. I think the Black Panther. He's part of like a $30 bundle that comes with I think Taskmaster, and um Captain Marvel, which I would have bought it for I don't care about Black Panther that much, but I would have bought it for Taskmaster and Miss Marvel if it was still Miss Marvel and not not Kamala. What is it? Kamala Khan. Kamala Khan. I don't give a fuck about her. She's annoying. Whatever. I don't care about her. Well, actually, I don't know. It's not fair to say. At least in that stupid Avengers game, holy shit! Like she is annoying to high hell. But in terms of comics, I haven't read her comics, so I don't know how maybe she's better in the comics. So comic version of her, I can't speak on, but at least that Avengers game. Oh my gosh, fucking hell! Whose bright idea was it to put her in the game and have her act like that? Fuck's sake. Anyway, but Captain Marvel. If you guys don't know your comics, Captain Marvel, when I was growing up, used to be known as Miss Marvel. She didn't have the fucking blue and red thing. Oh, the blonde mohawk. Oh, yeah. Because, every woman's got to have fucking short hair and a fucking mohawk of buzz size and shit now. Because, yeah, ooh, we got to... that's the thing now. That's what we got to do. I don't know why. Fucking it's illegal for a woman to have long hair, apparently, now. Everything I had to do, like fucking Tanya in the new fucking Mortal Kombat, they fucking shaved their head bald. I was like, okay. Fucking, it's just, I don't know. A woman can't have hair now. They're not allowed. That's the new thing in comics, media, video games, shows, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, when I was growing up, Captain Marvel used to be Miss Marvel, and she had a black, what would you call it, like a leotard, I guess, yeah? That was her costume, black leotard, black long boots, a black mask, kind of like how Robin from Batman wears like that. And then on the black leotard was a gold lightning bolt, and it was sick because it was metallic. It was metallic gold, so it looked really cool. Like depending on like the artist who was like drawing it, and then in like the games and stuff like that. Oh, it was really dope. And it was cool. And then she also had like a red. How do you put it? Well, we're playing. We're doing an anime paint simulator thing right now. Like a Luffy has like that like sash on him, like that he wears, like that sash around his waist. She had one of those, but it was like red, and then like the red sash, and then there's like the loose part that hangs out like to the side of like one side. So it was like black, red, and gold, or well, black with like the gold lightning bolt, and then the red sash, and it looked so cool. She had black gloves too, black long gloves and black long boots. But man, it was such a cool design. And now she's Captain Marvel. Dude, if they made Ms. Marvel, if they kept her as Ms. Marvel and made a movie with that, dude, I heard the Captain Marvel movie is fucking dog shit. I mean, it looks stupid. Arvik has requested to join you. Sorry, buddy. I'm finishing this one on my own. Thank you, though. Thank you for asking. But if they made a movie with that Miss Marvel, oh, it would have been sick, dude. And then they could have, oh man, they could have had. It would have been sick. It would have been sick. So she actually gets her powers originally from the original cat. So she's Miss Marvel because in comics originally there was Captain Marvel, who was, I'm pretty sure he's never come back. You got to read, if you have not read Death of Captain Marvel, bro. I didn't even follow his story, but even that shit pulled on my heartstring. Guy, if I didn't accept it the first time, I'm not accepting the second time. Get out of here. But dude, the Death of Captain Marvel, that is a comic that pulls on your heartstrings. Holy cow! So long story short, long story short, Miss Marvel gets her powers from Captain Marvel. We're getting into the Death of Captain Marvel in a second. I'm just explaining the Miss Marvel background. But she gets it from there, so that's why she's Miss Marvel. Now she's just Captain Marvel. Also, which is why, because she's Captain Marvel now, Shazam, yeah, when I was growing up, Shazam in DC, I hate the name Shazam. He used to be Captain Marvel. When I was growing up, he used to be Captain Marvel. Now he's just Shazam. I liked him called Captain Marvel so much better. That's another thing, if you didn't know. Yeah, Shazam used in DC used to be known as Captain Marvel. But just Shazam now. Shazam! I'm Shazam! That's me, Shazam! Like, I don't like it. Captain Marvel was just way cooler for his character. But I don't know. I think maybe they changed it because of the whole thing with Marvel itself and then Captain Marvel, whatever. It's like, who cares? Who cares if they both have the same name? Whatever. What the fuck is it? Actually, you know what? No. I'm not going to say that because if someone else made their fucking... Don't get any bright ideas, you funny rascals. But if someone else tried to make their name like SconzE, I guess I'd be pretty mad. I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? But in all fairness, I'm fucking SconzE because I've said it before. My first name's Eddie. So the E comes from Eddie. And then the SconzE comes from my last name. And it was a nickname. It's a shortened version of my last name. And it comes... And then in back in school and stuff, everyone would call me SconzE or the SconzE. And so then I just took the E, put that at the end, and became SconzE. Well, I guess in terms of writing, but some people would say SconzE. Some people would say SconzE too. They call me the SconzE in high school. Yeah, sometimes SconzE. But then, like, in terms of writing it out, I got it from the E. But anyway, that's the story on the name. So it's like, if someone else just took it, it'd be like, all right, why the fuck is your name that? Like, mine, there's a reason, there's history, there's lore. Oh, is that where the last one is? Oh, there's two more, actually. Oh, here they are. So what are they saying? Oh, yeah. So, anyway, Miss Marvel. Well, let me actually. I'll probably remember the Death of Captain Marvel. Let me get that in a second. So what I was gonna say is, if they did Miss Marvel movies, oh, it'd be so cool because there's like a whole storyline where and this could have tied in great with Iron Man. Oh, because Iron Man 2. Oh, it would have tied in great. So Iron Man, if you don't know, had this story, Demon in a Bottle or whatever like that. Yeah, because Iron Man had a whole, it was like with comics and stuff. He was an alcoholic. He had a problem with that stuff. There's like a whole comic on it. It's called Demon in a Bottle. Fucking great cover where it's Iron Man sitting slumped in his chair in his armor, but his helmet's off. You see his face and he's like fucking sweating. He looks like sick. He's like, oh, like he looks like really out of it. And I think it's him in the chair, but you see it from like the perspective of like a vanity mirror or whatever. He's like sitting there and like the bottle's on the table and he just looks ill. It's just a really sick comic cover. It's cool. But so he had his problems and stuff, whatever. But now Miss Marvel, now there's comics where Miss Marvel, I forget why it happens, but long story short, she becomes an alcoholic herself because of obviously some comic book tragedy thing happens. And so she's taking it out on herself. She's drinking, whatever. She's got problems. And I remember Iron Man like goes to her and is like, hey, I know what it's like. You need to quit. Like, this is bad. Because he's speaking from experience. Like, that would have been sick in the movies. Like, imagine you make a Miss Marvel movie, the first one. Everything's, more like, happy and stuff happen. And then maybe, like, in the second movie, she, like, you can tie this in with Iron Man. Where, like, because he had his whole problem with, well, they didn't really give him... it wasn't really a drinking. No, he did have the drinking problem in the second movie. It was because of the whole thing with his heart. I think in the comics, he just had the drinking problem because he just had the drinking problem. Um, but like in the second movie, they made it where like it was because of his drinking because he was like dying because of the thing in the heart, like the poison from like the metal, whatever. Um, but so where the hell are these last pieces? Um, it says there's only two left. But so like yeah, so then like maybe the second movie you have Miss Marvel deal with like her problem with the drink because something happens like in the comics, and then you have Iron Man, you have fucking Robert Downey Jr. come as Iron Man and like help her with that because he had the problems too, and then it's like cool because then it's the callback to his movie, and it's like oh, and then it's like relate, and dude, and that's something people can relate to. Like I've never experienced it myself. Like I've had my own fair share of problems with different things in life, but that one, like alcoholism, never like had that issue. But that's something like that could resonate with people because there are people with that problem, and I think that could speak volumes in a superhero movie because that goes to show it's like, hey, it's like even superheroes, because every superhero at the end of the day they're still human. Well, most of them are humans. You got Thor who's like a god and stuff, but it's like, hey, like they got problems too and stuff, and like that's one thing that's great. Like DC doesn't touch on that as good as Marvel. I feel like Marvel does a great job at touching on like real human problems. Stan Lee has said that himself. Like, oh, Spider-Man, I made it. Spider-Man, he's got to do his own laundry. He's got problems. He's got to pay the rent. He's got to do this. He's like, I wanted to make a hero that's got the same issues as your everyday Joe. And it's like that's what makes Marvel heroes so great. It's just like they're relatable. And it's like if you take the time to read through the comics of a character, you'll realize that holy shit, they really are relatable. Like, bro, I'm reading the history of Johnny Blaze. I've read through all of the set because Ghost Rider is my favorite hero, and actually over the course of reading the history, because Johnny Blaze is my favorite Ghost Rider, so I was like, let me read. And he was like the first. Now you might say, no, he's not the first. It was the fucking the Ghost Riders, the all white, the original one. No, Johnny Blaze is the first Ghost Rider in comics. That other Ghost Rider, I forget what they wind up changing his name because of Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider, but he's not Ghost Rider. That was his name, but he's a completely different thing. It's a whole nother thing. They actually did a crossover actually with Johnny Blaze and him. I think that was in the 80s or whatever. But Johnny Blaze is the first Ghost Rider. The other dude is like a whole separate thing. It was just the same name. There's no like actual like relation in reality. Where the fuck are these last two 29s? Should I just do the... Alright, we'll just do the 30. I don't like to go out of order. Not that it like matters or anything, it's just something I do. So reading the history of Johnny Blaze, I've read through all... Because I believe the first one was 1974. I believe. And so I've read through all the 70s, read through all the 80s, read through all the 90s, read through all the 2000s. I'm actually on 2010 now, so I'm going to the 2010s. Where I'm at right now in the history of Johnny Blaze is Daredevil, actually, Shadowland, where Daredevil takes over the Hand, and he gets all fucking crazy. And so Johnny Blaze ties into this because Kingpin actually calls upon the powers of the Ghost Rider through it's like an ancient like technique thing through the power of the Hand. So Kingpin actually calls in Ghost Rider and commands him to like fight them and stuff. Which let's just say Johnny Blaze and the Ghost Rider are not too happy about. Oh, okay, I see one of them. There's two left. I see one over here. Oh, there's both of them. Great. But so that's where I'm at in the history. But anyway, the point is, I was going to say, over reading the history of Johnny Blaze with the intentions of reading through Ghost Rider more specifically, but just Johnny Blaze because that's my favorite version of him. My favorite superhero itself is, well, could you call Johnny Blaze a superhero? I guess he's like anti-hero-ish in a way. He starts off actually as a superhero and then becomes more of an anti-hero. But anyway, I'll put it like this. My favorite Marvel character now is no longer Ghost Rider, but Johnny Blaze himself. Because damn did I resonate with him reading through his history and the final sentiments of Johnny Blaze, which I guess this is a good way to put it. I could I'll put it in my own words at first, and then I'd like to read. Also, we finished this. We completed this one. Damn, so that took a while. How long are we streaming? Will I do another one? I don't know if I want to do a whole nother one and take a while. Oh my gosh, my analog stick is really bad. It has gotten so fucked. I'm streaming for almost 2 hours. All right. So I don't know if we'll do another one. Maybe we'll start. I'll start one. I'll start one. Because I'm gonna keep talking a little bit. What do I want to do? So the first one I did was Dragon Ball. Then I did Fairy Tail. I'd like to do like one at a time. Could do One Piece. Could do Naruto. I finished Naruto this year. Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, or this past year. Yeah. Oh, there's Sailor Moon. Soul Eater is good. Let's do Naruto. Let's do Naruto. Shit, is that Shikamaru? That Shikamaru wound up being my favorite. Jiraiya. I go Shikamaru, Jiraiya, then Kakashi. Those are my top three. Top three in Naruto. I think, or is that your? Well, either way, I think this is. Oh wait, that's definitely Shikamaru doing the shadow, right, or something. But anyway, I was gonna say Naruto. I like Shippuden. Naruto and Naruto Shippuden wound up becoming one of my favorites. Oh, fucking Zabuza. Let's do. Oh, stop. Let's do this. Actually, wait. Is that? Hold on. No, yeah, it's got to be Shikamaru. Let's buy it. Wait, no, that's Iraku Sensei. Oh, Iraku. Oh, whatever. I guess we're doing Iraku. Why is the middle fucking glitched out? What the hell? That is not supposed to be like that. Strange. Okay. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. Maybe? The guy who made this fucking game couldn't even make it properly. Oh, you want people to give you $100 donation and you can't even import a picture properly? Dumb fuck. Anyway, that's not nice. That's not nice to say to him. However, it's very obvious based off the fucking store. He's like we said before. He's preying on kids and their parents' credit cards, trying to rob people. So I don't know how nice I want to be. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Naruto Shippuden. We're talking about other stuff. I gotta get back on track. Oh, the Ghost Rider. Yeah, I'll get back to that with Johnny Blaze and character relatability. Oh yeah, so Naruto. So I watched Naruto Shippuden. Wound up becoming one of my all-time favorites. Now, I never thought Naruto was bad or anything like that, but I waited so long to watch it because I just never thought I'd be into it. It never seemed like my cup of tea, you know? It's like I wasn't like, oh, it just looks bad or anything like that. No, I just thought like, I just don't think I'll personally like it. Like I was like, seems good, I just don't think I'll personally like it. Wound up loving it. One of my favorites all time for sure. Boruto looks like freaking dog shit though. I see people like the best way to put Boruto is, I mean, I've seen the clips. Everything I've seen of it just makes me want to watch it less and less. I think I might start it soon though, just as like a maybe as like a hate watch. And I would like to know kind of like the way the rest of the history of Naruto like pans out. But like I saw something from the Chunin exams of Boruto, and I was like, oh my gosh! I was like, it looks like garbage. It looks so bad. And people are saying, in Naruto, it's win or die. Boruto, or was it? Yeah, Boruto is win or lose. Naruto is win or die. That's the best way to compare the two shows. And it's just like, yeah, Boruto, the fucking show looks like a joke compared to Naruto. Like, Naruto is actually like, pretty serious and intense at times. A lot of times, actually. And then Boruto just looks like fucking, oh my gosh. Looks like a joke in comparison. No fucking way this is glitched. Look at this. Hold on. This is glitched. Because we're walking over the numbers, but we don't see it. Okay, hold on. Let's leave. Maybe we just gotta reload it. Let's try reloading it. Because we're gonna probably end soon, but as I'm still talking, might as well reload it to like fix it. All right, now it's fixed. All right, so you did import the picture properly, but your game doesn't work properly. Yeah. So that's actually, I don't know what's worse. Anyway. Oh yeah, alright, so... Oh yeah, I was gonna say Naruto. I think Naruto is better than Shippuden. I thought I was gonna like Shippuden more. I actually liked Naruto better, though, when I watched. Because Naruto, the characters just had so much more substance. Literally, like, aside from Naruto himself, every single other character has, like, no growth or does nothing. Like, in Naruto, when they're kids, all of them do stuff. Like, fucking Neji, Choji, what is it, Sakura, Inu, right? Ino, what's it, what's her name? Blind, not blind, I used to think before I watched Naruto, I thought she was, like, blind. That's just the way their eyes look. The Byakuyan clan, Neji's cousin, the Naruto, is it Hinata? Yeah, right? Yeah, right? But like all of them did stuff in the first. And Lee. Oh, and Lee. Like, dude, like, bro, like, yeah, the whole thing. He like breaks his legs and stuff. Like, spoilers, by the way, but like, it's been around for years. If you haven't watched it yet, I mean, you know, and hop on there now. You know, and especially if I start like this is an anime thing. We're gonna be talking about animes. But like Lee, you know, like he had his whole arc where like like, you know, he was like really intense, like, you know, try to beat Neji, and then he went to fighting Gaara, break his leg, and it's like, dude, like it was good, it was impactful because I could relate to it. He was like, they were like, oh, you'll never be a ninja again and stuff. It was relatable because I actually I suffered myself from a fucking injury and shit that like messed things up for me because I used to do like wrestling and stuff, and then I'm not gonna get into all that right now, but it was like watching Lee, it was very relatable because that like messed up my whole thing, and I was like, damn, like, you know, and so I could relate to him and like the struggles of thinking like, I'm not gonna get better, and like, that was my dream, like, you know, his like, you know, the being the ninja and stuff and whatever. But then he gets back in the fight and stuff, you know, he recovers, and then you see him fight the bone dude. You know, he fights him for Naruto, and he has the great fight with like the drunken fist, and then Gaara winds up coming to help him and stuff because it gets a little too crazy. But then in Shippuden, none of these characters do anything. Does Lee even have a fight in Shippuden? Not that I remember. Like, none of the characters do stuff. Like, all the characters in Naruto had depth and, like, story and progression, and it was very interesting and, like, well done. I remember, like, Choji. Like, Choji had the whole thing. He took the chopper rumble ball, and then he turned into a butterfly or whatever, and that was crazy. And I was kind of like, damn, whoa. But in Shippuden, like, literally nobody does anything. Except for my favorite character, Shikamaru is low-key the second main character after Naruto. Even more than Sasuke, really. Because they do a lot with him and Tamari. That's the best relationship in the show. They got him and Tamari. And there's the whole thing. Dude, he defeats one of the what were they called? The Akatsuki and stuff, you know, to avenge... what was his name? His sensei, his teacher, like the Kakashi for like Naruto. Like, what were they? Team 9? And then I think Asuma. Yeah, that was. What were they? Team 7, I think. That was with Ino, Choji, and Shikamaru. And then so he gets his whole thing with that. And then, like, you know, they're building him up to be like the next, like, you know, assistant to, like, oh, Naruto's gonna be the Hokage. Yeah, that's the word. I'm like, what the fuck is the word? He's gonna be the Hokage. And so, I see where it is. It's only the one. I see it up there. He's gonna be the Hokage, whatever, and so Shikamaru is gonna be like his right-hand man. So they're building him up throughout the whole series as like, oh, like the super smart guy who, like, he's got big shoes to fill because he's going to need to support Naruto as the Hokage. And and yeah, that was and so that was really awesome to see for Shikamaru, though, being this like secondary main character of Shippuden. He gets a lot of screen time and a lot of stuff. But everyone else, though, no one else gets anything. And it was really dumb. And what was I gonna say? The whole dude, Hinata Naruto. Now, originally, we were gonna be talking about what's his name? Originally, we were gonna be talking about the Ghost Rider stuff. We will still get to that, the relatability, because I do want to talk about that. But we got to stay on this Naruto topic for a second, especially because we're working on this picture right now. Shippuden is filled with so many dumb things. Like, bro, Sasuke is such a dog shit person throughout that whole thing. Dude, I hated him. Everything he fucking did, even in Naruto, he's bad, but like, and I'll get to that in a second. But Shippuden, dude, when they finally save everyone at the end, just for Sasuke to be like, all right, now that we saved the world and everything's over and we're at peace, I'm going to use the powers that we gained to kill all the Kages. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Can you just be chill for 2 damn seconds? Like, holy shit. And then, bro, the whole thing with his brother, it turns out, oh, his brother's a good guy and he did the whole thing. And it's like, and then he finds out his whole thing with his brother was that he wanted to protect the Leaf Village. So what does he do? To respect his brother's death and like all, you know, and all that, and his brother's wishes, he tries to destroy the Leaf. You fucking moron. Your brother's whole thing was that he wanted to protect the village. And so you're trying to honor him by destroying it? Even when you know he wanted to protect it? What is wrong with you? He's such a dumbass. And then the whole thing was that he's like, oh, because the village made my brother do that, his evil ways and stuff like that. And it's like, here, you want to destroy anything? Here's what you do. Kill Danzo. Danzo is a piece of shit. He deserved to go. Kill him, kill Danzo, and like the other old heads who, you know, cause all the problems. Go ahead and do that. That's fine. That makes sense. But to destroy the whole village, all the people, there were plenty of people there in the village who cared about you. And also, what is it? You want to destroy all the innocent fucking civilians and stuff who have no idea about any of that? Like Sasuke, what the fuck is wrong with you? The Sasuke is just a piece of shit and poorly written character. He's just an angsty teen through and through who just wants to destroy everything because he's fucking moody. He has no real logic or reason for any of the things he did. Like, fuck Sasuke. And from what I've seen online, a lot of people do hate on Sasuke. And you know what? I'm very happy about that, because fuck him. But even in, like, dude, even in the first Naruto, I remember I thought it was the dumbest shit. Where Sasuke went to go to, what's his face? He went to join Orochimaru to, what is it, to get strong? I need to get stronger. So I'm going to leave the village and go to Orochimaru and do all this crazy shit or whatever to become stronger. It's like, why? The whole reason he wanted to get stronger was to fight his brother at the time, like, and to kill him, because he thought, you know, at the time, thought Itachi was evil and all that and stuff. And it's okay, so I get wanting to be stronger. But here's the thing that doesn't make sense. There's tons of people in the Hidden Leaf Village who are strong, like Jiraiya, for example. Dude, Kakashi is there are plenty of people who were strong in the village who could help you train to beat Itachi. And he's like, I need power now. I need to beat him now. Like, dude, you were still a kid. Itachi is what, like 10 years older than him more? Itachi is like 10 plus years older than you. It's like, guy. And then when he fights him, he's like, wait, but I trained. How is Itachi still stronger than me? I don't know, dumbass. Maybe because he's 10 years older than you and he's been training longer. Like, no shit, he's still going to be stronger even after you train. Like, there's no reason why you couldn't have just stayed in the village, trained with other, like, people. There's plenty of strong people in the Leaf Village who could have made you stronger, and then wait until you got older. Like, use some common sense. Like, oh my gosh. That's like saying like a fucking because I don't know. I think they're young in Naruto. What are they, like 12 years old or something? That's like saying a 12-year-old is gonna try to fight a 21-year-old, and both of them have been, let's say, like, yeah, the 21-year-old's been working out for the last, like, for like, years now, hitting the gym, whatever, and then this 12-year-old hit the gym for like a couple of months and now thinks he's gonna beat this 21-year-old in the fight. That's essentially what it is in Naruto. It's like, guy, get your fucking head on straight. So stupid. But anyway, so that was really dumb. No reason for him to really leave. Should have stayed, trained, and just done it later on in life. And then, but that was like really my main problem with like the first Naruto. Otherwise, everything else I didn't really take issue with. Shippuden though, oh my gosh, so many problems. One thing I just want to get into with it is Sakura. Oh my gosh, dude, people hate on Sakura. Actually, well, hold on, before we get into the Shippuden Sakura, here's one thing that, like, in Naruto that was really dumb too, because it just didn't make sense. So, like, I understand they wanted to recreate the Sannin trio of Jiraiya, Orochimaru, and Tsunade, is it Tsunade or Tsunade? Whatever the fuck. They wanted to recreate it with Sakura, Naruto, and fucking Sasuke. And so they had, Naruto with Jiraiya. Made sense, though, because Jiraiya was, Naruto's dad's sensei. And also, even if he didn't want to train, it was the whole thing where it's like, oh, like, Jiraiya accidentally, like, messed up Naruto's training with his teacher. So now Naruto's like, I need a new trainer. You owe me. He's like, all right, whatever, I'll help you out. And then he's like, oh, this kid's got the potential, whatever, and stuff. So it's like, there's, like, multiple reasons made sense. Sasuke, it was stupid, but, like, he just went off, to Orochimaru. And Orochimaru made sense for him to train Sasuke, because he wanted to take advantage and, like, steal his body or whatever. So it's like, okay, there was the logic for Orochimaru's end. With Tsunade and Sakura, that shit was forced as fuck. It made zero sense. You know how Sakura becomes Tsunade's apprentice? She just walks into her office one day and goes, please, make me your apprentice. Teach me your ways. And she just goes, okay. Mind you, Tsunade has just become Hokage of the Hidden Leaf at this point. Has just become the Hokage. Like, what has it even been a month? I don't even think it's been a month. She just become Hokage. She's got a million fucking things to do. She's never talked to Sakura once at this point. She doesn't know who the fuck she is. And just goes, yeah, okay, because this random little ninja girl asked, yeah, you could be my apprentice. What do you mean? Do you not have anything better to do as Hokage than train? It's not, like, here's the thing. You know what would have made sense in the story? If, like, Naruto, is through Naruto, she had, like, learned about Sakura, and then, like, maybe, like, something happened where, like, there was, like, a mission with Sakura, and then, like, Tsunade, like, has to step in or something, and she sees Sakura's resolve during this mission. Basically, just any sort of little bitty connection to make Tsunade, like, see potential in her or whatever. So it makes sense that, like, okay, like, yeah, I'll train you, whatever. She just walks in, she doesn't have any idea who the fuck she is, and she just walks in and says, make me, like, hi, new Hokage, who's not even been Hokage for, like, a week. Make me your apprentice. Okay. What the fuck? It made no sense. It made no sense. It was so damn forced. It was the stupidest thing. I was pissed. I was real pissed when I saw that, because there was no build-up, nothing. It was just forced. Anyway, now getting on to Sakura in Shippuden. For fuck's sake. Okay, so Naruto should have always ended up with Sakura. Made no sense. The Hinata Naruto thing, literally up until the very last episode, there's no build-up between Naruto and Hinata. There's literally nothing. There's nothing. It's just Hinata crushing on him the entire time. And that's it. Naruto literally has eyes only for Sakura the entire show. And then all of a sudden, the last episode, hey, we're married now. Stupidest thing, and that's not even a hot take. That's something everyone says online. Everyone thinks it's a fucking joke, and it's because it is. Um, Shikamaru, Tamari, best couple. Anyway, Sakura, the whole thing with Sasuke makes no sense. Okay, Sasuke has never done a single fucking thing to earn like Sakura's love. Here's the thing: the girls like Sakura and Ino, because even Ino was all like, "Oh my gosh!" Like with Sasuke when he became evil, and then, no, I'm so upset, blah blah blah, like and shit. Like Sakura and Ino and like the girls in school, they like Sasuke because it was like, oh, he's the cool hot guy in class. Whoa! And this is when they're like little kids in the fucking elementary school. It was an elementary school crush. That's what it was. Then when it's later on in life, when they're older, it made no sense. You haven't seen him in years. And he never did anything for you. There's no reason to still like him. Where Naruto was constantly doing cool shit and going out of his way for you. It would have made so much more sense for Sakura to actually like grow up and realize like, oh wow, like I you know what, I like Naruto, like, you know, more. Like I realize and stuff, like appreciate. And remember, who does Sasuke call out to when fucking pain attacks? She's like, Naruto, where are you? Does she say, Sasuke, why aren't you still here? No, she goes to the fucking Naruto. It's fucking, what the fuck is Sasuke gonna do? Sasuke has earned nobody's love. It's just more forced bullshit. It made no sense. It was so stupid through and through. It just made no sense. And then even Sakura's like, Sasuke, I'll give my life to you, whatever. And then she like tries to like kill him or whatever because of the bond with Naruto or whatever and stuff. And then like that was just dumb shit. And then and Sasuke like tried to kill Sakura first, whatever. And then she's like, oh, but I still love him or whatever. Like there's just that was my Sakura. So there was no reason for that to ever be a relationship between them. It was an elementary school crush. That's all it was. And then they just dragged it out through the rest of the show. So stupid. So dumb. Where's this number 8? Where's this last 8? Where the fuck is this thing? What color is it? Gray? Let's see if I stand still. Can I see it? If I can stand still! Stop! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There we go. There it is. Oh, well, we have 2 more. Oh, there they are. All right, number 9. Am I done with my Shippuden? Was there other stuff I wanted to say about Shippuden? I don't know. Oh, I did think the stuff at the end was kind of stupid. Like, Madara really should have been like the final boss. Like then when they went into the whole, that was another thing. Like I think like Naruto went way overboard at the end of the show, where now it's like, oh, the moon goddess and falling from the sky, and then the tree of life, which like makes the chakra for all like beings, and we're like ultimate creatures. Then it's like, oh, it's just, like I really think that just got way too out of hand. That was stupid. Madara really should have just been the final boss, and that like be it, and just have Naruto like beat him and shit. Because it just went way over the top stupid at the end, and it was just, yeah, it was dumb. And then there was something with, like, Toby, too. What was it? Like, something with Toby, who's Obito, which totally wasn't the most obvious thing in the world. Something with him. Oh yeah, it's like, what happened? I remember I was annoyed with something with him because of, so he went evil, right? The whole thing with him was he went evil because, you know, the girl died, whatever her name was. Kakashi and him, like, their Sakura, their teammate, she died. And he was mad, and the whole thing was like, and it was like, because he saw Kakashi kill her, but the whole thing is like, but he knew, like, the whole thing was that you think like, oh, it's because he didn't know any better. But the reality was like, he did know, I think, like, he knew what was happening, but there was something more to it. Oh, I wish I could remember. Because it was something like, it should have been resolved way more, like, simpler, because then, like, Obito does, like, turn over a new leaf at the end, because then he realizes some truth? Or was it? Or no, because he knew the whole thing with Kakashi where like she's the one who like plunged herself into him because she knew because like the tailed beast in her and stuff whatever. Because the whole thing was like he's like I told you to protect her, you couldn't protect her or whatever, blah blah blah, like like it's your fault still, even though like she did it on her account, like you still should have been protecting her or something. I think it was like something like that. But then what was the reason he turned over a new leaf? It was like something, it was like he like realized something, understood something later on in life, and then that made him turn, or like during the Kakashi fight or whatever. I wish I could remember it was, because it was, because it was another one of those things where it's like, oh, it was so like it could have just been made so much simpler, and he could have changed, like, changed heart way sooner. Like if they just did this simple thing that like anyone would have realistically done, but they just for the forcing it in the story to like make him evil for longer, so they like overlook a simple thing, something like that or something. I think. But now trying to think about that made me lose my track with something else with Shippuden. What was it? Doesn't that suck? That sucks when you when you lose track of something. Oh well. Also, let me check chat. Let me check chat again real quick. I haven't done that. Haven't done that in a quick minute. All right, nothing. All right, nothing happening. Nothing happening right now. How long have we been streaming for? Over 2 hours now. This went on longer than I thought, but SconzE was ranting. What are you gonna do? All right, so I guess unless I can remember something with like Shippuden. Oh, okay. Well, this is actually what I wasn't gonna talk about, but something I will mention. Fucking Jiraiya. Jiraiya's death. So unnecessary. So unnecessary. All that just for fucking Pain to turn over a new leaf when he finds out, with like the whole thing with the story, like, oh, this, like, dude, literally, if Pain just took a second to like talk to Jiraiya or like Naruto before, like, well, actually, even just Jiraiya, like, he would have fucking realized, and Jiraiya wouldn't have had to die. It's so stupid. And then another thing, it was like, the whole thing was like Jiraiya literally could have escaped. Jiraiya could have left, but he's like, I need to die here to like confirm something or whatever. But it was so unnecessary. Jiraiya literally could have left and like went back with like more reinforcements or something. It was just really dumb. That was another thing, is like Jiraiya should not have died. It was very easily avoidable. That was another. Jiraiya's death was forced. Let's face it. There was no reason that he needed to stay. Like, he went around, encountered Pain, and then he could have left. He could have got out of there. Because what was the point? What was the point? He stayed to die just because there was like something that he like discovered with it. But the reality is like it didn't even really matter in the whole grand scheme of things anyway. So it was just stupid. It was just dumb. Seriously, it's just dumb. Like, it was impactful death, and it was very emotional, because fucking everyone loves Jiraiya. But it just was unnecessary. And the whole thing with Pain. Bro, Danzo, fucking hell, dude. Danzo is really just the absolute worst character. He deserved death more than anyone in that show. He caused so many problems. Dude, he's the whole reason for the whole Uchiha clan, the whole issue with the Uchiha clan in the first place, and why Itachi did what he did and everything. They were going to stop the uprising. And then Danzo interfered, and then that was the whole reason everything happened with fucking Itachi and then Sasuke, and it led to that whole series of events. If Danzo just left shit alone, everything would have been fine. There would have been peace among the village. And then Danzo, once again, the whole reason Pain even became Pain, is because Donzo, because was it there's Donzo and Hanzo. There's Hanzo the salamander, or was it yeah, I think Hanzo is the salamander, right? Um, Donzo interfered, like, originally with the whole, like, rain thing. Hanzo was going to recruit the OG Akatsuki, which was when it was Jiraiya's, like, pupils, who were good guys who were fighting for, like, the betterment of their, like, their land, the land of rain, I think it was, whatever it was. But they were good guys. Jiraiya taught them well. And Hanzo was gonna meet up with them. They were gonna join forces to end war and, make things good. And then Donzo fucking interfered and made Hanzo think that the Akatsuki killed his people and then got them to fight each other. Which is like, first of all, Donzo, stick to the fucking Leaf. Stick to the Leaf Village, which you shouldn't even be doing that. You shouldn't belong to any village. You just fuck up everything wherever you go. And so then the dude, and so then fucking whichever his name was, became Pain because he watched his friend die because of the whole thing of Donzo's trap with Hanzo, the salamander, and that whole setup. So stupid. And then Pain exists, and then the Akatsuki became evil, and then the whole thing. And it's like, oh my fuck, dude. It's just Donzo. Donzo caused so many of the issues. And it was all because he's like, but I thought I was doing the right thing for the greater good. I'm doing the evil. Because, there's like the whole thing where it's like, oh, a person tries to do evil, the better of two evils for the greater good. But the thing is, Donzo was just fucking everything up. There was none of that. It was literally just him being a dumb fuck and thinking like he was doing this like great thing. And it wasn't no lesser of two evils. It literally was. It was just fucked in the head, and he just did bad guy shit and caused so many problems. Literally the whole fucking ninja world would have been better off if Donzo just never existed. So stupid. What a trash character. Where's this last 12? All right, anyway, so into the Ghost Rider thing. Now, finally, because I didn't plan on talking about Shippuden, but then, we're doing the Naruto thing, and thoughts came to mind. So the whole thing that I was going to say originally, way back when, with Johnny Blaze and the relatability, so the whole thing is that Johnny Blaze, his whole, thing to relate on with his character is... He is actually. Before I start talking, you could probably tell in my voice. Oh my gosh, character, stop moving, stop. There we go. I gotta drink some water. I've been talking for 2 hours straight without drinking any water, which is not good. I should have had this water sooner. All right. Had to drink a lot because I was just talking for 2 hours with no water. Bad idea. That's not good for your throat. Don't do that, guys. If you guys do a stream, make sure you drink your water. Don't be like SconzE. I'm going in rant mode, forgetting to hydrate. Anyways, oh yeah, so with Ghost Rider, the whole thing with him and his relatability is so that he deals with over the course of his story throughout the years is that, he's got some problem in life, and then he makes the deal with the devil and stuff, but the relatability comes from, so the Ghost Rider in him is supposed to represent the sins of man. And Johnny Blaze starts off having fun in life. He's a superstar celebrity. He's world famous motorcycle stuntman Johnny Blaze. And that, and yes, in the original comic runs, yes, he's very, that's a whole part of his thing is that he is world famous. He's a celebrity. And so he's popular with the ladies. So that's the thing. He gets around with the ladies, and he's charming, he's funny, he's got the looks and all that stuff, and he's basically living a good life. But the Ghost Rider in him keeps eating up at him. And at first, it's not too bad. He's in control. He's in control of the Ghost Rider. He's in control of the Sin. And, he's fighting bad guys here and there. He's doing his thing. But slowly, he starts to get a little more aggressive. And as this happens, he starts to get a little more crazy. He starts to make some bad decisions. He starts eating away at himself. He starts to hate himself because of his problems. And so he essentially, like, his whole life just falls apart over the course of time, where at once he's like celebrity, having fun, getting around with the ladies, living the good life, all this stuff. Eventually all that starts to slowly go away until he has nothing left because of, the Ghost Rider, which is like his representative of the synonym. He's destroying himself. And he loathes himself, he hates himself, and makes rash decisions that he winds up regretting because there are people that care about him and try to stick around with him and help him, but he pushes them all away because of his self-hatred. He pushes them away, like, out of his life, and then just eventually, like, fully gives in to the writer at time because he's just like, you know what, screw it. He's like, I'm such a mess, I'm so stupid anyways, like, I'm just gonna give in. It feels good to hurt these criminals, whatever, and stuff. And then he becomes like a pitiful man and all this stuff. And so it's like there's like a lot of relatability with him for like people who could probably understand like the like struggles of sin, where it's like they're living a good fun life at first, but then eventually that fun life, if it's done improperly, if you're having a fun life because you're giving in to temptation, all this stuff, eventually starts to catch up with you. You start to hate yourself for some of these problems, and then you start destroying yourself, which is what Johnny Blaze did. He starts ruining his relationships with his like friends and lovers because of his problem. He was originally he was a part of a team. He was actually, if you guys don't know this, there's a very, very unique team back in the 80s. I don't know if they started in the late 70s. I think it was the early 80s they started, but they were called the Champions. That was a team because, you have the Avengers, X-Men, stuff like Avengers West Coast, was it New Mutants or whatever? I think it was or X-Force. You got like different teams or whatever. Basically, but there was a team that was called the Champions. It was when the world still because the world still needs saving. And so the whole idea behind the Champions was that they were the Avengers for the common man, because it's like, hey, sometimes the Avengers are fighting these big threats, but just because they're dealing with that doesn't mean there aren't people who still need help. And so the idea behind the Champions was that there are still people who need saving. So they tackled some big problems from time to time. Like they actually were the ones who dealt with the null. I think it was called the null bomb or whatever, where it was this crazy contraption in Marvel that it's a bomb that essentially like it, or the way the null actually no, it's just called the null device. And the way it works is it grows like ginormously and encompasses the whole universe. Like everything phases through it and encompasses the whole universe, and then it compacts on itself, basically imploding the universe, destroying everything. And then the Champions were the one who actually dealt with that, because it was a thing at first, but then it got set off. Like, and then it comes back in like another story, and that's with the Champions. And then it actually gets set off, because I don't think it was set off the first time around. I don't know if it's like a device from like, I think it's a Kree device maybe or something, like, like King the Conqueror. I could be wrong about that, but either way, this null device, that's what it does. And so the way it was dealt with was they affected the system somehow to make it just grow infinitely. So essentially the Earth 616, that Marvel universe, is encompassed by this device, the null device or whatever it's called. That if it compacted would destroy everything. but it won't. It just increases in size. It's just increasing in size infinitely. So the whole universe is within it, but it'll never shrink because of whatever they did to the system. So it just grows infinitely. Who knows? Maybe like eventually, like it does have a limit. Like it's not supposed to, but maybe it short circuits something, vaporize. I don't know, whatever. But I guess in a way you could look at it is that universe is Earth 616 is completely the original timeline is completely encompassed by it, and that was from the 80s. Anyway, so the champions, unique team, it was Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider, Hercules, Black Widow, and Iceman and Angel from the X-Men. Iceman and Angel leave Professor X's group. So the way they form, they start is because Iceman and X-Men, or Iceman and Angel are like in college or something. Black Widow is like friends with like a teacher at this college or something like that, like a Russian dude. Because apparently Black Widow used to have this like sidekick always, someone that she like defected from like Russia with, I guess. He didn't have any powers or anything. He was just always there with her. Um, and I forget why Hercules was there. Hercules was there for like a lesson or something, like a history lesson at the college. Like he was there. I don't know if it was like a favor to a friend or something at the college. And so like he just happened to be at the school to like talk to students about like what is he, Greek or something, or like Greek history or whatever. And then Johnny Blaze, I think, just happened to be riding through. It's something that he was just local, and so a big threat like comes out of nowhere, and so they're all these heroes just happen to be there at this like college campus when this happens, and they all fight together, and then they wind up joining forces, and then they fight together, and they become the champions. That's the thing. Then they become a team. And they have their own building, their own HQ and stuff because Angel, if you don't know, I forget his first name, but it's whatever Warrington, his last name. Angel from the X-Men comes from a rich family, so he's got a lot of shmoney, and so he's able to buy them like a whole like building HQ and stuff. And so they got their own Avengers HQ, they got the Champions HQ, and so they're a team, and it goes pretty good for a while. It goes pretty good. But then they start to have some differences. They have a falling out whole thing. But so where this ties in with Johnny Blaze and stuff, and I'm talking about the sins of man and falling into self-hatred through like, losing control and like, giving into too much sin and then wrecking your life. So where this ties in is because that's actually how he had his falling out with the champions. Because they all kind of leave around the same time, but that was like his reason, is because he starts to look at himself as this demonic freak, as the Ghost Rider, and because he's starting to lose control of himself, and so he starts to believe that the other champions hate him. He starts to believe that it's like, oh, I've never really fit in with the champions. You all think I'm just some monster, some demon, some freak monster. And it's literally not true. Like Hercules, because Hercules has a history with like demons and monsters and stuff, because he's from that whole realm. Like he does have not necessarily problems with Ghost Rider, but he's a little bit wary. But Black Widow doesn't feel that way. Angel and Iceman, they very know, as mutants, they know exactly what it's like to be, what's the word, discriminated against and all that stuff. So they very much know. So they don't feel that way. It's really just Hercules, kind of like the only one, really. But even still, he's willing to like get along and stuff. But so Johnny Blaze is just like, I'm out of here. You all hate me, and it's just literally not true. That's the thing is like you start to get this self-hatred for yourself when you give into sin too much. Your life starts falling apart. You start believing that you are this monster that you really aren't, and as your life falls apart from giving in too much, and you hate yourself, and then you start pushing away the people that care about you and this and that. And so Johnny Blaze really relate his relatability to that. And I want to pull up actually, because there's just some of my own personal words, but they put it into writing best. They put it into writing best here. I'm going to try to find it here. So just bear with me for a moment. while I look for this, because the last issue of Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider original run, because Johnny Blaze's story does continue, comes back when Dan Ketch becomes the Ghost Rider. Johnny Blaze, joins him. They wind up actually being brothers and stuff. We find that out eventually later on. But so it's Ghost Rider and Blaze, Spirits of Vengeance, and that happens. So Blaze actually gets some of his own comics and stuff. But long story short, Johnny Blaze's story is not over. His original Ghost Rider run ends, but his story continues as just Blaze alongside Dan Ketch and Ghost Rider. And then he actually winds up getting Ghost Rider powers again and becomes Ghost Rider again. That's, further later down the line as well, in like the 2000s, stuff like that. So he's Ghost Rider basically in the 70s, the 80s. In the 90s, he's just Blaze. In the 2000s, becomes Ghost Rider again. But what issue is it? I just want to look at Ghost Rider Volume 2. So 81. So the original Ghost Rider has 81 issues. And I'm going to pull up that 81st issue, and I would like to I'd like to share the final statements given by the writers in the last page, because they talk about, like what I was saying about the relatability of Johnny Blaze and stuff. And I really just thought it was really great stuff. It really is good. And then we'll probably finish this painting too, even though it's gone on longer than I thought it was gonna. I mean, we're over halfway done with it, I think, so might as well. All right, so let's look this up here. Ghost Rider. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, here we go. Oh, 1973. 1973. I thought it was 74. It was 73, actually. First issue. But Ghost Rider his first issue was not even his own. His first was in, was it Marvel Highlights or whatever? Was it Marvel? Basically, Marvel has like a comic where they just go through like random stories, and so Ghost Rider was Marvel Spotlight, was it? Yeah, I think it was like Marvel Spotlight issue 15, something like that. And so he had like 5 comics. I think he's like issue 15 to 20, and then he gets his own story with Ghost Rider issue 1. All right, so here, oh my gosh, oh man, looking at this comic, I really, really miss the original comic covers. Ghost Rider had some of the greatest comic covers. One of my favorites was Race with Death, I think it was called, or Death Race. And you see like Ghost Rider's skull like in like the starlit background sky, and damn, it just looks so good. This one, the last Ghost Rider comic, what a great one. You see Ghost Rider, and you see Johnny Blaze, because originally Johnny Blaze is in control of the Ghost Rider, but then eventually Ghost Rider takes on his own personality because it's the demons of Tharos in him and stuff. And then they become like 2 just separate entities, essentially. So this comic cover is so sick. You see Ghost Rider's skull in the background with the title, the flame in the eyes, and then you all see Ghost Rider riding on the flaming motorcycle on the bike, and then Johnny Blaze separate on the side, like looking down, angry, and it's great. Pull up this last page. Not the last page. Not what I want to look at. Okay, get to the thing. What was I going to say? Oh, before I read this, little interesting factoid for you before I read this is the Ghost Rider, his famous weapon, the chains. Ghost Rider's got the chains he uses. He does not get that until Dan Ketch's Ghost Rider, because Dan Ketch's Ghost Rider in the 90s uses the chains. So throughout all the 70s and 80s, John Blaze never uses the chains. That's just never a thing. He actually shoots hellfire out of his hands, which is something that Dan Ketch's Ghost Rider doesn't do. Like he's got fire and stuff too. And then another thing, the penance stare. So John Blaze's Ghost Rider is similar with the penance stare in a way because so what he did is he would shoot hellfire. So everyone knows the penance stare, which started. So the chains and the penance stare started with Dan Ketch Ghost Rider, which is like the trademark things of Ghost Rider. To be like, wow, that's surprised it didn't come till like 20 plus years later. But so the penance stare, you know, you stare into the enemy's soul and make him experience all the torment he's caused upon others throughout their lives and stuff. They see through the eyes of those they've inflicted pain upon and experience all their suffering themselves, like over and over. But John Blaze, in a similar way, with his hellfire. So the whole thing is like when he would shoot his enemies with the hellfire, it would affect them. Like you would see the criminals would get messed up from the hellfire, the original Ghost Rider, and like they would feel cold. They would feel cold and burning. It'd be like, oh my gosh, like they'd be all mentally freak out, and they'd be like, please help me, like it's so cold. Like they would feel it burning their soul. So essentially, like the penance there, it would affect their soul, and it was just like this cold burn. And they would just shrivel up like, you know, on the ground. They would just like curl up and just be like tormented in their mind. It was like, you know, so in a way it was like similar, but just, you know, instead of the penance there, it was just the hellfire blast. And it's funny, there's one comic because Spider-Man and Ghost Rider actually had a couple of encounters, and it was better when they had a better relationship when Johnny Blaze was still in control. But then when Ghost Rider becomes his own thing, or Ghost Rider, you know, takes control of his own personality, Spider-Man was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? We don't do this to criminals. You're a monster." Like, and that was like a whole thing and stuff. Stop walking, dude. Stop. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna read this thing now. Let me read this. So, if you just finished reading this book, it should be painfully clear that this is the last installment of our Brimstone Bikers adventures. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. After all, Johnny Blaze is finally free of his demonic alter ego and reunited with his first true love, Roxanne Simpson. We have here, folks, is an honest-to-gosh happy ending, which actually it was great. I was very happy for Johnny Blaze. But somehow, I don't feel like kicking up my heels and shouting with joy. You see, this book was special to everyone involved with it, and it hurts to see it die. Why the attraction to the cycle jockey and his extraordinary counterpart? For one thing, Ghost Rider's visual appeal can't be beat. Few, you know what, hold on, I can tell as I'm reading this, let me drink a little bit more water, because I still haven't drank much over the course of this whole thing and a lot of talking. I'm sure you could definitely tell by my voice. I'm sure if you go back to the start of this stream and listen to it at the start to now, just talking nonstop for, what are we going on to like 3 hours now or something? Or maybe it's just been 2.5. Either way, you could probably tell. I drink a little water. Don't have much left. Anyway, the attraction to this cycle jockey. Let me put hopefully the mic's still okay if I put it down like this. Here, you know what? All right. Let me put this down so I can read this better. I'm gonna check the stream right now. Check the audio. We're gonna see. So let me see. All right. It should be good. Right? All right. It should be good. Good. All right. Alrighty. Alright, so here's why the attraction to the cycle jockey and his extraordinary counterpart. For one thing, Ghost Rider's visual appeal can't be beat. Few comics creations can leer so menacingly from a newsstand, can leap so dramatically off a cover. But even though the visual aspect of the Ghost Rider grabbed me, there was something deeper that reeled me in. Something, strangely enough, is best summed up by a short quote from Dostoevsky's classic, The Brothers Karamazov, Good and Evil. Dostoevsky wrote, are so monstrously mixed up in a man Oh, good and evil are so monstrously mixed up in a man. Stated in that deceptively simple statement is one of the most powerful and perplexing problems we humans have ever faced. If we're aware enough, if we dare to look inside ourselves with open eyes, we see that evil isn't some awful force from beyond the pale. It's not embodied by some pointy-headed, pitchfork-wielding hell-lord. No, evil, in all its frightening, often repugnant forms, has its home right in our own souls. It blooms like a black lotus in our hearts. Yes, we have the potential for greatness, for godhood perhaps. We are capable of monumental acts of selflessness, compassion, and bravery. But there's an other side to that coin. Within each of us, yes, you too, dwells a vile, twisted animal, a wretched, selfish thing, a liar, a leecher, a cheat, a very personal devil that must be faced and dealt with if we are ever going to progress beyond caves, loincloths, and clubs. We're getting there, but as a society at least, I don't think we've made it yet. Which brings us back to Zatharos. Here in one character, we have the personification of man's eternal grappling with evil within. Sure, we've seen similar manifestations in comics before. The Hulk sprang, full grown, out of Bruce Banner, but he was always a likable monster, more to be pitied than hated. Damien Hellstrom, the son of Satan, has a ravenous dark soul, but that's so vague and indefinable, a force that we can never totally relate to. Hellstrom's predicament. Ah, but Johnny Blaze, poor Johnny Blaze, he's a simple man in many ways. The archetype regular what does it say? The archetypal. Oh, archetypal. I don't know why they didn't just say archetype. Archetypal. It's spelled arc and then TPAL. I've never seen it written that way. I usually just see like saying an archetype for like character. Archetypal. Regular guy. We'll just say he's a regular guy. Oh, sure, he's got his talents. He is, after all, the premium stunt biker in the world. And he's got his problems. Our stroll through Blaze's psyche in issue 78 should have made that clear enough. But what sets Blaze off from the rest of the human race is that demon living inside him, the flaming skull-headed spawn of evil that forces its way to the fore of Blaze's conscience, usurps his body, and urges him towards actions that are, at their mildest, antisocial, and at their worst, depraved. Now be honest with yourself. Haven't you ever found yourself doing something you knew deep in your heart wasn't right? Something you knew would ultimately hurt yourself or others? Haven't you heard the voice in your mind saying, "No, don't do this. Don't say that word. Leap the fence. Crawl through that window. Take that hand." And haven't you done it anyway? I'm not talking about the little things, the white lies, pranks, and petty transgressions that are inevitable. I'm talking about the moment when you step over the shadow line and see the awful things inside your soul that you never knew were there. Perhaps you stop yourself before the foul deed is done, but that doesn't matter. You've stumbled across the part of yourself that not only considered the deed, but wanted to do it. That's a hard moment to face, because you've met your own personal Ghost Rider. It's that tension between twin forces that makes Johnny and his demons such interesting characters, and it's that tension that my unindicted co-conspirator, Bob Badansky, and I have attempted to play up most of all these past 8 months or so. We've driven Johnny Blaze down to the depths of his self, peeled him apart and put him together a better, stronger man. We've given Zatharos definition, showed him a past he never knew he had, fueled his heart with rage, a desperation that is nearly impossible to contain, and we've seen the two at each other's throats. There's still more, but I just want to move my character for a second, just in case there's just in case, like, if I AFK, it, like, turns off or something. And we've seen the two at each other's throats. The issue we saw one ending to that struggle, but think, where it could have led, we probed further. Ponder this. In recent issues, we've seen that evil, in the form of Zatharos, has been the prime force in the metamorphosis of Johnny Blaze, sparking his transition from vacillation, self-doubt, I haven't seen that word before, and self-doubt to certainty and, if not self-assurance, at least self-awareness. Taken to its logical conclusion, that means evil has brought forth good. Darkness has, in essence, proven itself a tool of the light. How do you think Blaze would have dealt with that revelation? Better still, what would Zatharos' reaction have been? 500 words or less, students. Be clear and sustain. Oh, it was really cool. I forgot about that. So, at the end of all these comics, back in the day, they don't do this anymore, but in Marvel Comics, you could always write into the comics. And throughout all the issues, you write into the comics, and then at the end of the comics, they would have people's, like, written in letters And actually, that was even in the '90s too, because I would read in the Blaze and Blaze and Ghost Rider, Brothers of Destruction. Wait, no, what the fucking Undertaker King Brothers. Um, what is it? Ghost Rider and Blaze. What the? Hold on. What are they called? Brothers of or Blaze, Ghost Rider, and Blaze. Spirits of Vengeance. Spirits of Vengeance. That's what it's called. I was blanking. But even in those ones, when I was reading those '90s ones, they still had them. But it was so cool. I loved reading what people like wrote in, and then they would respond to like them. They would like give the feedback and stuff. Like be like, "Oh, well, I thought that was stupid this time." And they're like, "Well, you're not the one writing it." It was funny. They were like, it was witty, and they would clap back. They'd be like, "Well, if you're so good, you could write your own comic from time to time." It was funny seeing that stuff. Um, and then there were like other ones like, oh, are we going to see the return of this character? And they're like, well, we can't say for certain, but stay tuned the next couple issues, and you might be in for a surprise and stuff like that. And it was like, oh, okay, so maybe this one's coming back. Um, anyway, so let me continue reading. And how about this one? We've seen that part of the Ghost Rider's own evil. His desire to punish the guilty springs not from Zatharos, but from Blaze. There is no clear black and white. Even within supposed good, evil hides. But does that mean that good hides within the evil? In other words, are there seeds of change in Zarathus's heart? Could a demon find salvation? Here's one last one. If all the here's the one last one. If all of the above proves that good and evil are not only at war with one another, but dualistic forces that interpenetrate, serve each other's purposes, becoming vague and indistinguishable at times, does that mean they could ultimately become one? Can you imagine Blaze and Zatharos transcending each other, merging, becoming a third new personality? Can you imagine each of them fighting for their individuality, yet realizing that as soon as individuality returns, they would be right back where they started? See what I mean? The possibilities are endless. The surface has only been scratched. And that, friends, is a shame. Listen, everyone involved with this book cared about it passionately. Editor Tom DeFalco was nursemaid, coaxer, Kolja Weedler, whiner, and tap dancer. He had faith when no one else did. If Ghost Rider has reached even a fraction of its potential this past year, a good part of credit must go to Tom. This seems as good as time as any to thank my talented predecessor, Roger Stern, for his invaluable contributions to this book's evolution. Artist co-plotter Bob Badunsky did more than just draw the pictures. The two of us spent hours on end, yammering away on the phone, prodding each other along, challenging each other's concepts, daring each other to do better. And we've been blessed with two skilled and dedicated inkers, Dave Simmons and Kevin Dusban, both of whom went to the limit and beyond with us. There were incredible energies at work here, vital and alive. There's no time to get Maudlin. Thought they were going to say Monday. Maudlin? Remember, this is the 80s, so they probably use some other old school words. It's spelled Maudlin. Maudlin. That's the only thing I could think of how to say it. Bob has, after all, become Marvel's newest editor, and the two of us will soon be reunited with Tom on the Submariner miniseries. Good grief, does that mean I'll be working with two editors? Tom is up to his neck in Spider-Man pages. I've got Captain America, Defenders. Oh, that's another team, Defenders. That was what I was trying to think of. Team Up, and a couple of other upcoming graphic novels to keep me busy. As for Johnny Blaze and his demon, I doubt they'll be forgotten, because every time we have the courage to look inside ourselves, every time we get excuse me. Sorry, I'm not gonna. I'll be real. I was getting a little choked up reading this last one. I'm not. I would be. I'm always real on the channel. You know, I always keep it real. I was getting choked up reading this last part because every time we have the courage to look inside ourselves, every time we get a glimpse of the awful, wondrous creature we are and someday can be, the Ghost Rider will be there. Can you hear his terrible laughter echoing out in the dark? Listen, listen, if you dare. That was the last page. That, didn't expect to get choked up at the end reading that. Because, well, as I said before, Johnny Blaze, my favorite character in Marvel. And, reading through his history, you know, reading through all those comics, and I've been reading through his history in chronological order. So it wasn't like I was just reading, oh, Ghost Rider issue 1 through 81 of Johnny Blaze. It's like, no, I started in the Marvel spotlight to start. And then every time he made an appearance, like in between comics, so for example, like I said, he was part of the Champions during that run. So it would be like, all right, Ghost Rider issue 21, then the next appearance, like in chronological order of like the history of Johnny Blaze, was a Champions issue, or he appears in a Spider-Man comic, this or that, and then it's like, okay, now back to Ghost Rider issue 22. That's now it's like back to that. So it's like, I've read hundreds of these Ghost Rider comics, and I love the later stuff too. I do, but that the original, the first Johnny Blaze run. Like my goodness, I mean, that's really the one that really was the best to me. Like his original run from, I think, was it 1973's issue 1, and I believe it ended mid 80s. Maybe it was 86. I should have looked at the year before I closed. I've already closed out the tabs and stuff on my tablet that I was reading it off of. But like, so reading those final lines, it just brought me back to when I finished it for the first time. And so it had me choked up a little, because I wish I could do it again. I really wish I could read those again for the first time. It was, to the creators of the original series of Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider, issues 1 through 81, hats off to you. I mean, you really outdid yourselves with it, and I can't thank you enough for the stories again. Not that I think they'll ever hear this, but I just want to put it out there. Like, can't thank them enough for the stories they've written. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to read those, and yeah, I wish I could do it again for the first time. Like, I was still enjoying the comics now, I still love, as now I'm hitting the 2010s of Johnny Blaze's history. I still like it, but it's different now, because Johnny Blaze now, he's just a typical biker dude. He's just a scruffy biker guy who's, he's just hanging out on the sides, drinking, and then, some issue pops up, and then he's got to deal with it because he's the spirit of vengeance. There's no real depth in Johnny Blaze anymore. It's still cool. His comics are still cool. Like, you're seeing him in action. And, he gets cool stories, but there's no depth like there was. Like, back in the 70s and 80s for Ghost Rider. Like, it just... You got to see, like, that was the 70s and 80s, that was the golden age of Marvel. And the 90s were great, too. 90s are great, too. But Johnny Blaze, I love seeing him go through his career. He started off as the world-famous stunt biker, and then he winds up getting a job, actually, there was a hero called the Stunt Master in Marvel, and he actually winds up joining him, and he gets a job as a stuntman for a TV show, and so then he's on TV, and then so that's a whole thing. He's part of this like crew, and that's like a thing for a while, and then he joins the Quentin Carnival, and oh my gosh, and there was like a whole series where because he's like #1 bike rider in the world, stunt motorcyclist. There's a whole thing where he actually loses his title as #1 because he's been so busy with the Ghost Rider stuff. He loses his title as #1 to this like new up-and-comer, and then he's got to deal with that, and then you get to see him try to claim back his title, and then something happens that causes him to like not get it, and then he actually, but then like he redeems himself and stuff or whatever. And it's like a whole thing. And that was great, but like it was cool like seeing him do like this real like worldly like stuff aside from just the Ghost Rider things. It was awesome. But my favorite, and he's had relationships with a couple of different female characters throughout. So originally it starts off with him with Roxanne Simpson, and then they separate because of the whole thing with Ghost Rider and stuff, and then it's like, ah, you know, and that's like a whole thing. But my actual favorite relationship he ever had throughout his run was I forget her name. It wasn't Roxanne Simpson, who he winds up, he winds up getting together with at the very end, the happy ending of his original series. And then in the Blaze and Ghost Rider, Spirits of Vengeance, during that period of time, he's married to Roxanne. They stay together, and they actually have kids. Of course, during the 90s, spoiler alert, I'm going to give a spoiler alert warning. If you want to read the comics for yourself, don't listen now. But Roxanne actually winds up dying. I think Roxanne and the kids, they actually wind up dying. The thing with the kids was weird, though, because, like, there's, like, some continuity error with that, because there's a whole thing where, like, Roxanne dies, and then she stays dead, but then the kids, like, they die, but then, like, but there's, like, comics where, like, or like they didn't die, they got taken, but then Johnny Blaze, and I've read everything in order, so I didn't miss anything, but like they have it where like Johnny Blaze is like looking for his kids, like that's like a thing for like a while with him. He's like looking for his kids, and so because he's like, oh, I know they're still alive, they've got to be out there still alive, and then he does find them. There's like a whole thing where like they get taken by the Wendigo. For some reason, they're just taken by the Wendigo. I don't know why, but they were. And then he actually has a crossover with the Punisher, where him, Johnny Blaze, and because actually he doesn't have the Ghost Rider powers yet at this point, but he does have some mystic powers left over from his time. Because I mean, the whole reason he got the Ghost Rider powers because he's fucking summoned the devil, and got the powers. So he knows some like mystic art stuff. He's got some magic in him. But Blaze and Punisher actually team up for a fight, and then it ends with he actually gets his kids back, and it's happy. But then the story continues on, and then they're gone again, and then it says he's still looking for them because Johnny Blaze and Dan Ketch wind up being brothers, but then Doctor Strange has an assistant who actually winds up being their cousin. And so then Johnny Blaze and the cousin like have a comic thing together where they go on search for the kids, but he ended up finding his kids in the crossover with Punisher. So why are they missing again all of a sudden? And then the whole crossover with Blaze and the cousin, who was like Doctor Strange's assistant, I forget her name. They actually wind up having a whole thing with Howard the Duck. that was a whole crossover thing. And so they got to deal with getting him back because they're trying to like look for the kids, and then they wind up summoning Howard the Duck from another world or whatever. And that was like a whole thing. And then they deal with that. But then that ends, and then that's over. But then, so it ends with them looking for them. But then you continue further on, and then it winds up the kids are just dead, and it's like so. He's looking for them, then he finds them, then it turns out he's still looking for them, and then it turns out, no, they did die, so there's some continuity error. That's another reason why I love the Golden Age of Marvel, is because it's straightforward, and it just continues. It just, like, continues in a nice straight path, where then once like Marvel got into once you like get towards the end of the 90s and like you go into the 2000s, specifically the 2000s, it's the 2000s that really like fuck everything up, and then things kind of get all over the place and wishy-washy, and they make references to past comics and stuff. They keep to some degree of continuity, but little details get changed around from time to time, But yeah, that 70s, 80s there, that was the best with Johnny Blaze. Oh, what was I saying? My favorite relationship with the girlfriend, because I went into the whole thing with Roxanne and then the kids and stuff. My favorite relationship Johnny Blaze ever had that I wish they stayed together, because they were the best. This was Johnny Blaze's best relationship. I don't remember her name, but it was actually originally Daredevil's girlfriend. So Daredevil had a girlfriend in the comics in the 80s. I remember she was blonde. I'm pretty sure she was blonde. I don't remember her name. And I believe she knows he's Daredevil. I'm pretty sure. But so Daredevil had a girlfriend, and then so it's while Johnny Blaze is working on the movie set, she is also working on this movie set or something, and then Johnny Blaze and her hit it off, and then they have a whole thing, and then there's like a crossover with Daredevil. And then Daredevil's like, oh, like I see you and Blaze are hitting it off or whatever and stuff, and so it's like so she was with Daredevil and then she was with Ghost Rider, but during this time he's still in control of Ghost Rider. I'm pretty positive at this point in time. I forget why things like don't work out with them. There's always something with it's dealing with the Ghost Rider and stuff. But oh, that was my favorite relationship was was Johnny Blaze and Daredevil's ex. That was my favorite. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. But yeah, now Johnny Blaze for the past years has just been sad, depressed, and lonely because his wife and kids are dead, and nothing really happens for him. Oh yeah, something interesting I was gonna bring up is interesting little lore. So with Ghost Rider. And then I meant to talk about it way earlier before. So the death of Captain Marvel, that's just going to be talked about briefly. Not too much to talk about, but it's great. Ghost Rider. So everyone's like, oh, Ghost Rider, made the deal with the devil, became Ghost Rider. But then, so the continuity of that changes because sometimes, so when the comics first started, the Ghost Rider comics, he actually made a deal with the devil, like Satan, to get the Ghost Rider, not to get the Ghost Rider powers, just to save Crash Simpson, his father. It's not his real father, but like the man who raised him and stuff, and because he was sick and dying, and then he becomes the Ghost Rider because he gets cursed, and stuff through the whole deal. And so it's a deal with Satan. But then, because most people I think know it as like, oh, it was what's his name? He's inspired Mephisto. It's like, oh, it was actually Mephisto. He made the deal with Mephisto, not say. It's like, no, actually, it in some versions of Ghost Rider, like depending on like the writer and stuff, it actually is Satan himself. Like that was the cause of it. And then in some continuities, it's Mephisto. Because in Marvel, Mephisto and the devil are not the same character. They actually are two separate characters. So, like, depending on the continuity, it's one or the other. But the very original, it was the devil. And actually, Jesus makes an appearance in the original Ghost Rider comics. He actually saves Ghost Rider. And then it's another thing, but then like it goes on later where so I think it appears twice because he gets saved, and then Satan tries to be like, I'm the trick, I'm the king of lies, like I was always tricking you, like I made you think you were saved by Jesus, but you actually weren't. It was me in disguise. Like I made you lower your guard and stuff. But then he actually does get like saved by Jesus at another part. Like so Satan tried like tricking him like at first. But then Jesus does like save him at one point. So it's just like it was like cool, it was like cool that they had that like in the comics and stuff. It's really interesting and cool. We actually did wind up finishing this whole Iruka, whatever his name is, Sensei photo here. Wow. I don't know what the next one I'll do is. That could be on this stream. We're gonna talk about Death of Captain Marvel. Quick, and then actually, one thing I can reference, one of the last things is so in Marvel, like God does exist in Marvel comics, because Ghost Rider actually saves heaven. That was one of the more recent comics I read. It's called Heaven's on Fire is like the name of that series. That was part of the continuity I read recently, and basically one of the archangels like tries to use the power of Ghost Rider to like take over heaven, and but then and he uses Dan Ketch. Dan Ketch gets the Ghost Rider powers back because he loses it. Johnny Blaze is Ghost Rider again, but then like he uses Dan Ketch and his powers Ghost Rider to take over heaven. But then Johnny Blaze like finds him, they fight, and then he gets Danny Ketch to wake up and realize, uh-oh, I actually did the bad thing. He thought the whole thing was Danny Ketch thought he was saving heaven. He was actually like wrecking it. And so then they fight back against these Archangel forces, and they save heaven. And then so it's like a whole thing where Johnny Blaze is like calling out to God. He's like, I saved heaven. Free me from this curse. I hate being the Ghost Rider. Let me just live in peace. But then God's like, you still got work to do. And it's like, he's like, there's a lot of evil that still needs to be vanquished. And so that's basically Johnny Blaze, at least where I'm in his history, that's his existence right now. Is he's sad and depressed and hates himself and wants to die because he hates being the Ghost Rider. But there is evil. God's like, there is evil that still needs to be defeated, and it is your job to do so. Because it turns out that we learn in the Heaven on Fire is that the Ghost Rider is actually not a power from hell. It is actually the Ghost Rider, the Spirit of Vengeance, is actually a weapon of heaven. So that was very interesting to me to find out. It's like, you think it's like, oh, he's Hellspawn, like the Hellfire, all that stuff. But he actually was created by heaven as a force against evil. That's why Ghost Rider craves vengeance, and because you would think, like, if he was a weapon of hell, wouldn't he be terrorizing people? It's like, no, the people he terrorizes are the criminals and those who do evil. So there's the penance there. It makes people feel the guilt and stuff of like all the the pain they've committed on others, because it's it's penance. It's paying for the crimes they've done. It's a weapon of heaven against evil forces. So that was very interesting to find out later on. But anyway, so now the death of Captain Marvel thing. I'll just speak briefly on it, and then we're gonna wrap this. We did this for 3 hours. Was not expecting it, but you know what? It was a roller coaster. We went on a lot of rants about stuff in the video game industry. Then did a lot of talking about comic stuff. Talked about anime. The rants. It was enjoyable. It was enjoyable going on about all this different stuff. What a roller coaster of up and downs, rants, and then talking about good stuff too. And now we're gonna end with just this quick little talk about Death of Captain Marvel. So Death of Captain Marvel is very interesting because everyone knows, oh, comic characters die, but then they get brought back. Captain Marvel is the one comic character who has never got brought back. When he died in the 80s, he stayed dead. And the reason I read it was actually because it was Johnny Blaze appeared. It's only literally one panel. I've read every comic wherever he appears, even if it's just a single panel as like a reference or whatever. But he appears when Captain Marvel on the deathbed, and what is it? And all the heroes are standing around. Ghost Rider is one of them, and it's Johnny Blaze at the time. So it's him. Even though they've never interacted before, maybe he was just coming to pay respects. I guess. Because he's just part of the hero community. He's like, I don't know the guy, but I'm here. But Captain Marvel has never come back. His death, they solidified it, and oh man, it was a rough read. It is emotional, and I don't even know Captain Marvel that well. I never read his comics, but so I read the comic that the causes of that. So there's a comic where Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel is actually two people. It's this guy. Funny enough, that's actually, oh my gosh, now that I think about it, it's exactly like Captain Marvel from DC. Yikes. Like Billy Batson and, Shazam, whatever. But Captain Marvel, so, but the thing is, it's different with it. It's not powers. There's this regular guy and then Captain Marvel, and they're like merged together. They have these power bracelets, and when they click them together, they switch between the kid and Captain Marvel. But it's not like the kid's like, oh, has powers and is control of Captain Marvel or whatever. They're very much two different people. I think what happened was they're combined because of something happened, some dimensional shifting when traveling through like a dimensional portal. something. This is a very loose interpretation, but just something along the lines of that. And they like merged bodies, and so that's why they're connected. It's not like, oh, I'm a kid with powers. I click my bracelets, I turn to Captain Marvel. It's not like that. They're just they got mixed together, and so they just switch between who's in like in their physical form or something. Or actually, no, that's not what it is. Now I remember. They switch places. So Captain Marvel is like across the universe, whatever, and then they click the bands and it switches places. So then the kid is like in space or whatever instead. And so when a hero thing needs to get done, the kid sits in space in this like station or whatever, while Captain Marvel's on the Earth. It's like something along the lines of that, whatever. And so anyway, so there's a comic earlier in Captain Marvel's history where there's some sort of like villain, and he's like a nuclear villain, with like nuclear radiation is just like emitting out of him and stuff. Captain Marvel vanquishes him, beats him, or I think the guy just like burns out or something. Like anyway, Captain Marvel deals with the threat. Now, this plays in years later, a little farther down, because I think that comic maybe was in like the 70s, and now this comic is like in the 80s. Or I don't know, whatever the difference is. Years later, now that comes into play. That nuclear man he fought, turns out Captain Marvel got cancer from that. Yeah, no joke. He got cancer from that, and he's dying. He's dying, and he's actually separated from the kid at this point later on in the comics. Like he's no longer like, oh, you hit the bracelet switch of the thing, and so he goes in, checks in on the kid to be like, hey, did you get cancer from that too? He's like, I got cancer. I want to check and make sure you're okay. The kid's fine. He doesn't have the cancer himself, because I guess he wasn't exposed by it. It was just Captain Marvel himself, because he was the one in place fighting the villain. And it's so emotional, because Captain Marvel's just dying and there's nothing they could do. And Captain Marvel, he's like this great warrior who like beat Thanos and stuff, like in the Infinity Wars. Like he helped conquer Thanos, and like he's regarded as one of the greatest heroes to ever live, like in the Marvel universe at that period in time. And so the kid is like calling upon all the heroes, and is like, please, you have to save him. Like he's dying for this kid. Isn't there anything you could do? This isn't fair. He's a hero. How could he die like this? This just isn't right, And one of the most impactful panels of it is there's one of the rooms where they're doing research. You see Reed Richards, Beast, Hank McCoy, I don't know, it's Tony Stark. I think Doctor Strange is there, Tony Stark. Basically, like, all the brilliant minds of Marvel are all in this room, like, working together, researching. And the kid comes in, and he's yelling at them. He's like, you guys are geniuses. You can figure out all these crazy things. You can create dimensional travel, all this and that. He's like, but you can't find a way to cure his cancer? You can't figure it out? What's wrong with you? This or that. Like, he's like, why can't you do so? It's like this, and like, and they're just like, and there's nothing they could say. They're like, we can't figure out a way to like cure him. They're just like, there's nothing they could do. And they all feel so terrible, because it's just like, they say to themselves, like, we're brilliant. We've done all these crazy creations in the Marvel universe, but we can't simply figure out curing cancer and stuff. And like, and they're just like, so basically it's just really impactful, because it's just like, it's just something that like, it's cancer is a real thing that affects people. And I think the thing with it was that like, was that because Captain Marvel's a Kree. He's not a human, he's a Kree. But something with the way like the cancer is affecting him, like they can't, because of his biology, they can't like figure out like a cure, because like his body's like rejecting like their normal forms of like medication and stuff or whatever. But it was a very sad read. And I remember I forget who it was because like Thanos like defeated and stuff. Like someone from like one of their enemies. Oh, because like the Kree, because it was the Kree. Is it the Kree's enemies with the Skrull? I think the Kree and the Skrull are like the two like enemies, right? I think it's like one of the Skrull warriors like comes to like to show up at his like on his deathbed to like, and everyone's like, whoa, like back up, pal, like uh you're a bad guy, but he's like, I'm just here to pay respects. And he says he's like, it's sad because he's all like weak and shriveled. He's like, you were the mighty warrior who like like conquered Thanos and stuff in the wars, and he's like, was able to like best him in fisticuffs, whatever, and stuff like that. And he's like, and now you lay here, shriveled up, dying from the cancer, and he's like, he's like, this is, and like he's not like trying to like insult him. He was saying he's like, this isn't a death that you deserve and stuff. You're a warrior. He's like, you deserve a better death like than this and stuff. It's just like very sad because it's just like it's like, hey, death comes for us all and stuff, and even the mightiest heroes get affected by stuff that affects everyday people in life. And that's sort of the great stuff about Marvel is the relatability to like the real world and like people struggles people go through, because it pulls on the heartstrings, man. It's like people are really dealing with this stuff, and so to read it in comics, like these superheroes that you look up to, and it goes to show it's like, hey, they're not so different from us. And it's like, obviously, yes, they have superpowers and they fly around and this and that. Obviously, yes, they're different from us. Spider-Man, hey, maybe living an average Joe life. He still shoots webs and climbs walls. He has super strength. But, but at the end of the day, it's like, despite all that, they're still just like us, They deal with these things that people deal with, love and death and, personal battles and struggles, like Iron Man, the addiction and this and that. It's just, it makes for very compelling stories. It's very good. I remember I forget what it was. I think there was a Spider-Man line. I think there was a Spider-Man line in that Death of Captain Marvel comic that was like really good too. I remember like it's like the Thing and like Spider-Man like next to each other in the room, and Spider-Man says like, we're heroes. We put our life on the line. Is this really okay for like things like this to happen to us and stuff? And I think the Thing is just like, that's life, Spidey pal, or whatever, and something like that. But man, the Death of Captain Marvel. Oh my gosh, yeah, yeah, what a thing. I wish I want to hold on. Um I want to hold on. I want because I read the thing before. I want to pull up before we end this. I would like to just look up and share with you guys what some of those panels were from that Death of Captain Marvel, because it was very good, and it's funny. I say this. I like to share with you guys, as no one's watching. But hey, maybe someone sees this in the future, and then they'll get to learn about a cool comic story. I always say, because I get videos and stuff that do good, a lot don't do so good, but like, stuff, back and forth. But I always say, at the end of the day, as long as one person has seen it and they like it, that's what really matters. So long as someone gets something out of it, that's what really matters, because hey, you gave some entertainment or enjoyment to that person, it's worth something, it's worth at least a little something. Anyway, so we're gonna look up this comic, and then we'll end it. Oh, it's right. I remember reading this the first time and being so confused. I was like, why is there so many pages? Because of the Death of Captain Marvel comic, they at first they show you the story of the first fight, of how it happens. the thing. Okay, and then you gotta go. Okay, so I gotta scroll. I gotta go all the way down. Okay, literally. Okay. So here we go. All right, so I'm saying I'm at the point where like he's talking with the kid and stuff, and then all right. Oh yeah, so comes in once again New York City. Only this time the setting is an impressive Manhattan mansion owned by Tony Stark. But most people don't think of it as being the property of a wealthy industrialist. No, to them, it's simply known as Avengers Mansion. And so you have the guy, Rick, who was the one who was like, combined with Captain Marvel at the one point. He goes, "That's why I asked you particular Avengers here. You seven, Yellow Jacket, the Black Panther, Vision, Wonder Man, Beast, Iron Man, and Thor. All have special scientific or medical knowledge." I forgot, dude, you guys don't know this? I totally forgot about that. Thor, his like alter ego, he was like a scientist or doctor or something. Because Thor would switch between like an alter ego between Thor, God of Thunder, and like regular civilian dude. I forgot about that. He wasn't just God of Thunder 24/7. I forgot he was like a doctor or something. He says, "I figure if anyone can save Captain Marvel's life, you can. With your powers and brains, you should be able to find a cure for cancer in no time at all." Black Panther goes, "Now hold on a minute, Rick." Iron Man goes on to say, "I don't think you understand the complexities of cancer research. This is a problem hundreds of research scientists have been working on for decades." Then Beast goes, "It's true we're good at what we do, but cancer research is something completely new to us." And Wonder Man goes on to say, "What I think the Beast is trying to say is, don't expect any miracles. After all, we're only human. Well, at least most of us are." Then Rick goes on to say, "Oh, I see. I get it. In other words, you'd like to help, but it's not good business taking on anything it doesn't look like you can lick. Bad for the old reputation." And then Beast is like, "Rick, wait, you don't understand." And stuff. And then, boom, a door slams and a room full of the world's most powerful beings falls silent. But it isn't the irrational outburst of a youth in pain that so humbles them. For if Rick Jones had remained, he would have learned that all within that room had already arranged to go to Titan to work with Mentor in finding a cure for Marvel's malady. No, that which has so subdued them is a common question they each ask themselves. Why? Why haven't we used our genius abilities and powers to stamp out this dreaded killer before this? Each has his own answer. Each finds his own answer unsatisfactory. And it's like, dude, that shit is powerful. It's right, because he's just like, oh, yeah, but, and then they're all realize, like, we're like the geniuses of the world. Why have we not tried to cure cancer sooner? Like, what's wrong with us? Like, and as it says, like, they each think to themselves, and they're unhappy with, their answer of why they haven't done it sooner. And it's just like, yeah. And then, oh, right here. Okay, here's a part where Captain Marvel is getting pain. He goes, it burns, it tears, it twists, it bends, it kills slowly, a little piece at a time, then it fades. The pain comes and goes from the cancer. And he goes, damn! Alien invaders, supervillains, monsters, mutants, they all tried, but none of them could kill me. I fought them all and I won. I survived! Who would have thought that in the end, it'd be my own body that would turn on me and do me in? But what are you carrying on about Marvel? It's not as if you've been singled out for this. Everyone has to die someday. Or did you think you were unique? Yes, I guess that's what it's all about. I just never figured it would happen to me. Deep down inside me, I felt that those special things that make me who I am would just live forever. It's hard to accept that the world is going to go on without me. Damn. That's what he said. And the shit, dude, this is such an impactful comic because it's real, man. It's like, dude, people think they're just going to live forever. They don't take into account. It's like, bro, that's why you got to live every day like it's your last. And you got to be very, very serious about certain things, What I mean by that is there's a lot of people who are just, some people just party every day and they drink and drug and this, fun, because you think, those news stories of this person dying, that bad thing, someone got into an accident, got killed, whatever, that stuff's never going to happen to me. Dude, it happens to all of us, all right? You don't think it's you until it is you on the news or this or that. Like, it could happen to anyone. And just like Marvel says here, like, I beat all these villains. Like, you go your whole life doing this, and then, like, you get older and stuff, like, it's like, it happens. But that's why we have God, we have heaven. You keep your faith in Jesus Christ, you will live forever. Never forget Jesus Christ. He died for us so we may have eternal life. But while we are in this world, we're not invincible. Don't forget. But now I want to find the Spider-Man. There's a Spider-Man line that I remember was being really good. Oh, right here. Was it here? Um, what what is happening here? So okay, I see the thing at the bed. Oh, and it cuts. It's like a cut. You know. Meanwhile, the thing. It's the thing. Spidey and Johnny Blaze. Uh, Not Johnny Blaze. Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. They're sitting on Captain Marvel's side at his deathbed. He goes, and then just when I thought I'm about to lay him out for the conut or for the count, Marvel yanks the power cable off the wall and zaps me. I tell you, I says, this one is one tough cookie you got. Ain't that right, Spidey? Spidey goes, I mean, sure. Please, excuse me. And then Thing goes, Spidey, what the? And then Captain Marvel goes, Ben, let him go. Death touches us all in different ways. Some barely feel it passing. Others strikes right in the face. And then he walks out, and then they're all looking at him. And Beast is like, Spidey, are you all right? He goes, yeah, sure, just a little shaken. It's all just a bit too much. I mean, this just can't be happening. Captain Marvel is one of us. He's a full-blown card-carrying superhero. We die from bullets and bombs, not from something like cancer. It just can't be. Beast goes, I'm afraid it is. In case you hadn't noticed, beneath most of these fancy costumes and flashy powers hide mortal men and women. None of us have much of a say on how we're going to end this life. Spidey goes, I guess not. But don't feel alone in your feelings, Spidey. We're all having a hard time accepting this, especially him. Oh, and then it just cuts to Rick and stuff, but... yeah, man. It's tough, and then... here's who comes in. It's Drax. Drax the Destroyer. Moondragon, because... wait, is it... let me see. Is he... No, someone could... Oh, here it is. No, it was a Kree. Yeah. Or a Skrull. No, it was... Yeah, it's a Skrull comes in. General Zadaro is a Skrull. And he goes, Captain Marvel, I greet you in the name of the Imperial Skrull Empire. I am here not because you are our enemy, but because you have always been our greatest enemy. No being in the entire galaxy has ever faced our armed might so bravely, or thwarted our plans as much as you have. You are quite possibly the greatest warrior ever walked the stars. We Skrulls are a martial race, and have long respected your skills, deeds, and courage, even though you are our foe. That is why I have come by, ordered the Imperial Council to present you with this. It's the Royal Skrull Medal of Valor. I salute you, Captain. May your passing be swift, and your afterlife reward be great. Oh, and that's what... Oh, yeah. That I remember. That's why I was emotional, too, because the Skrulls were him. And then Rick goes on to say about how the Skrulls, your worst enemy, give you a medal, but what do your own people do to honor you? Because Captain Marvel is a Kree, but the thing is, Captain Marvel, you know, he turned on the Kree. He abandoned the Kree Empire to stay on Earth. Because originally he was sent to Earth to scope it out, because, you know, for, like, Kree to, like, invade and destroy or whatever. And then he wound up, you know, liking Earth and being like, hey, I don't want to attack Earth or whatever. And so the Kree like completely abandoned him, and it's like while Captain Marvel's dying of cancer, the Kree, his own people, you know, do nothing for him, while the Skrulls, his greatest enemy, show up and give him a Medal of Honor because they're his greatest enemies and they respect him. And as he's dying, they're like, we show you respect. Like the point is the death of Captain Marvel is a heavy hitting comic, and he's never come back. I'm gonna Google that just to confirm, but I'm pretty sure they've never brought. Let's see. Let me see. I don't think he's ever come back. Let's see, is Captain Marvel... See, now here's where it gets confusing when you type this in, because now it's like there's a couple Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, who should have just always stayed Miss Marvel, but, you know, whatever the fuck, you know, whatever. Um, yes, the original Captain Marvel. Yeah, that's why he was Captain Marvel, because Marvel. But also his name is Mar-Vel, Mar-Vell. It says Marvel has remained permanently dead in the main comic book continuity since 1982. One of the few permanent superhero deaths. That's crazy. Oh, apparently, I didn't know that. Apparently, Jean Grey died in 2003 at the end of Morrison's run and stayed dead until her resurrection, it says, in 2017. So I guess she was dead in the main timeline, but apparently she was like, okay, that's interesting. Apparently, Jean Grey stayed dead from 2003 until and everything. Okay, this is like glitching out now. Let's leave because we're ending this anyway. But even look, I mean, look. Oh, 2003 to 2017, stayed dead for 15 or 14 years, whatever. Um, like okay, like I mean, I'm saying like in comics, superheroes always come back. They always come back, But Captain Marvel, since what did it say? 1982 was it? 1982 or whatever, early 80s, whatever. Has been dead. 40 going on 40 plus years. Never come back. They never brought him back. Stayed permanently dead. Very, dude, very damn impactful. Very damn impactful. I don't know if I wonder, should more comic characters, stay dead, not be brought back, and then just, new characters come in? Like, it always kind of bothers me when, a comic book character dies or, something happens. They get replaced where it's, just another character takes the mantle. I say, just put in new superheroes. Instead of just having a character take that place, why can't they, why can't you just make a new superhero or something? I hate the whole, oh my gosh, how many different Captain Americas have we had? Bro, if Falcon just stay Falcon, Winter Soldier just say Winter Soldier? Why do we have to have, all these different Captain America variations? Damn. If Captain America dies, just let him stay dead, and then, Jesus. I don't know, it just takes away. I just think it takes away. I think it takes away at both ends. It takes away from the hero that died, and then when you have another character, you could either make a new character, or when you have a character that is already a character and then becomes that other superhero, then that takes away from that original character. Because, whatever. Anyway. Alright. I'll wrap this stream up here. Peace out for now, guys. Thank you for watching. God bless you. And I will see you in more streams, videos, and whatever else. So, bye-bye.